Hello and welcome back everyone to the Rampancy Let's Play channel. I'm Narcogen. Yeah. And Lion, let us know if you can hear everybody. I think you should be able to hear everybody. I think it should be okay. We're going to be playing some Commodore 60... What? You can only hear you. Okay. Alright, let's check that then before we go any farther. What channels are you on? What? It says you're on channel 6. And we're supposed to be streaming channel 6. Is this an NDI problem again? Audio only. Well, yes, I was hearing you. Let me go over to the monitor. All right, say something. Oh, you cut off there strangely.
All right, try resetting it.
All right, I heard you there.
Okay, so this is me testing to see whether or not I'm actually in. Yep, I hear me.
You do hear you. Okay. I didn't do anything, though.
Well, no, I did the little NDI trick again,
okay.
So maybe that was it.
I think that was it then. Yeah.
Yep, Lionel says he hears me now.
Cool.
Okay, all right.
Wow, that's so
It's
bad.
really annoying, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is.
Okay, so welcome back to the program. We've been taking some time off, but now we're back. So welcome to the Rampancy.net stream of Rampancy Retro. This is something I've been looking forward to a very long time. Would like to thank everyone that's been hanging with us all this time, and we haven't had a lot of content lately, but we're going back to our beginnings. We're actually going to be doing some of our old school games that we grew up with as kids to not only give an idea of how far games have actually come, but also to bring out the little nostalgia in us all about what we grew up with, because everybody loves what they grew up with, and we just wanted to share what we had ourselves with all of you. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks Lino for jumping in. Wow, that was quick, man. I mean, instantly, you got to be a diehard fan to be coming in at 11 in the morning.
Oh, he was up before that. He was posting a comment a few minutes ago. They're like, "Hey, you guys said there's going to be a stream up, but I don't see it yet." So.
Sorry we were late. We were getting everything ready because this is something different. We're actually coming in an emulator. Yeah. This is old school stuff. We're going all the way back to the days of the Commodore 64.
Right. So in the early 80s, right, everybody had, I mean, Apple already had their machines out and they were focused on education. And it was a $2,000 machine that did monochrome graphics and mono sound, and you had to pay extra to get an 80-column card, and it required a custom monitor and a custom hard drive. And and we did not have that kind of money. So what we had access to was the $200 Commodore 64 that you could hook up to a black and white television, and you could load games off a cassette tape drive that cost $35.
They loaded up in real time, ladies and gentlemen, and sometimes you had an entire side of a tape, sometimes two sides of a tape that had to take an hour and a half to load, if you can imagine that.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? Sometimes it didn't work, and you had to start it again. So gaming was very, very serious. And this, of course, was the day, even with ROMs on cartridges and things, were like just coming out. They were the dawn of a whole new era.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of cartridge stuff on the Commodore. I think I just had, we had like, there was a modem that used the cartridge slot.
Yes.
And I think there was a paint program. There was the Hez Paint. You had the Hez modem. Not a Haze modem, a Hez modem, H-E-S modem.
Remember the 1200 baud ones? God,
yes,
those were hysterical. But yeah, this is the days when Atari 64, Atari 2600 was cutting edge, and the C64 was the desktop home equivalency of what computing was. Linus says, he was talking about apparently there was a Aleph 1. Turns out it wasn't bugged at all. He says, apparently there was an issue with the double-clicking escape skip chapter screen settings. And also he says, Bloodless Honors in the chat. Hi, Bloodless. He says, what, we are talking 56K modems? Oh, no, we're talking 1200 baud modems.
That's a 1.2K modem.
56K
but
was
we didn't start with that. The Commodore 64 had a 300 baud modem, so a 0.3K. Modem.
So literally 4 times that was like, whoa, we were going fast. But anyway, all right. So the first game we're going to be doing today is from one of Narc's.
Hold on a second, I'm gonna turn that off.
I love that. That's skipping up animated. Like, okay, there we go.
Yep. So this is Forbidden Forest, published by Cosby in 1983. And there's actually an interesting story behind this one. This game was basically done on the Commodore by a single guy. Guy's name is Paul Norman.
Yep.
He was working for a company called Synchro that was making Apple and Commodore games. Yeah. And he brought them this game, and they hired him, but they were going out of business. Cosme actually came to look at buying furniture from their office, saw him working on this game, hired him, and published it.
Can you believe it?
Yeah. And also, just before we start this, you can see the way this looks. The Commodore 64 and the VIC-20, all of those computers actually had a way of doing graphics primitives that was not a bitmap, but were characters. They were alternate character sets. So you see that, like, each one of these little icons, like the leaves on the tree there, like up in this area, that's a single character. It takes up the same space as a letter and a font. So they were basically like special fonts you could use to make graphics primitives, and that is not how all or even most Commodore games were made, but that's how this one is made.
It was kind of unique, actually. Phil Mysterious in the chat. Hi, Phil. He says, yeah, I jumped in for a hot minute to see what the stream is about. I love it. I can't wait to watch the recording later. Cool. Yeah, well, actually, shall we read off the titles so people can see what to look forward to?
We're going to do Forbidden Forest, Aliens the computer game, and Coronis Rift.
Yeah, if you remember Coronis Rift out there, if there are any fans of that one,
that's
going to be a good one.
Pretty obscure. I don't know. I think a lot of people might say, wow, I never heard of that. If they heard of those Fractal games, they probably have heard of Rescue on Fractalus that came out before Coronis Rift. But there were two other games using the same engine, which is Coronis Rift and the Eidolon.
Yep, and mine is actually one of my all-time favorites, and that one's going to be a little special. This one's is Aliens from 1986.
Yes.
Growing up, that was one of my favorite movies. In fact, I saw it. It was actually one of the first R-rated movies I ever saw in the theaters. And what was really cool about it was that it was so neat on how they combined several different game types in one. And because of the movie available on VHS, I was actually able to grab audio bits on audio tape to play along with the game, so that you literally could hear the movie coming through the screen while playing. So we're going to try to emulate that too.
Yeah. Oh, and Lido mentions he's suggesting Rick Dangerous 1-on-2 on Amiga for later. We probably will do an Amiga emulation stream at some point. The Amiga emulators there are some commercial ones that come with a bunch of games. Yeah, you can download the emulators for free, but you need to have ROM files, and like the only 100% legal way to do that is like to hook up your PC to an old Amiga and download your own ROM from the hardware. Our Amiga 500, I think, is just going into the recycling this year because I don't think restoring the hardware is going to be worth it. But I do have the Amiga emulator with all the ROM files.
Yes, and I actually ran that machine several years ago, and it actually was still working.
Yeah, that's amazing.
We didn't have a lot of the discs left over, but but the fact that the hardware lasted that long,
and that's from like 85
hot attic
or 86.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so shall we pull the trigger?
Yeah. Let me unpause the emulator here, and we'll see the opening. This game was like programmed, and the artwork and the music done by one guy, Paul Norman. Let's go.
Yep, here we go. Oh, Phil wants to know, do we have any classic Mac games? I would love to play like Wavy Navy and Choplifter and stuff, because we had a...
Oh, there we go. Okay, fine. There we go.
There we go. Okay, there we go. Look out, spiders.
Oh, no.
Oh, geez, that was quick.
Yeah, that was... I wasn't moving at all. All right, fine. I thought I had all the cheats on, but I guess I don't. Like, we never finished this game back in the day. Where are you? And see, notice the parallax scrolling there, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd this guy go? Oh wow, creepy altar. Okay. I think it's borked because I died to the first spider. All right, let me load the snapshot.
Did you? Yeah. We have to load it again. Yeah, we may have to run into a few headaches. No, there goes another spider. We're off to a great start, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and is that the dragon?
That's the Demogorgon. That's the ultimate bad guy.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that. Yeah, Bungie's Minotaur. Anyone? Yeah, I actually, I don't know if I've actually played Minotaur. I actually talked about doing some of the early stuff with Bungie and literally going from Gnop on up. You know, that would be kind of neat. Because Pathways into Darkness was one that I thought we'd always want to try, but it is so difficult and so deep, we weren't sure if we'd actually be able to do it on a decent schedule to keep it
Run away. It's kind of like Space Invaders. I think like if you let them get too low to you, you can't.
Yes.
You literally can't shoot them, so you have to run away. There we go. So then you just kill enough of them, and you end the segment. You get the dance.
Oh boy, because God only knows how much we need the dance.
Can't skip that either.
No, that music actually is kind of iconic, though. I mean, everybody recognizes it. But yeah, it would be neat if we could actually try that. So we may actually try it at some point. But yeah, emulation is a little new for us, so we may run into bugs. Yeah, here come the bees. And were those bees or wasps? I think those were supposed to be bees.
By the way, I think one of the cheats I have on here is like infinite arrows. And that segment only has one enemy, need that. Just one beat. I'm on the lowest difficulty level, if you couldn't tell.
Okay. Yeah, you may want to put the music up, or audio just a little bit up.
Okay.
Linus says he thinks it's pronounced Knop. We always said Gnop because it was basically Pong backwards.
Look at the moon there. Little face.
I know. Little face of the little man in the moon. Yeah. Linus says, and Phil's right. I'd love to see Minotaur.
Frogs. And the dead body killed me.
Yes. Well, the frogs and whatnot, you always had to not be under them. And
yes,
to be honest, I think I only beat this game once.
I don't think I ever beat it.
I think the vast majority of the time was spent on like the last level, and I always hated that you had to start
no.
early on.
Oh no.
It kind of reminds me of Are You Smarter Than a Sixth Grader?
I think you just need to survive that. I'm not even sure you need to kill any of those.
You think?
I'm not sure.
It's been so long.
I have seen people speedrun this. Like, you can, if you know what you're doing and you're good, you can finish this game on the highest difficulty in like 20 minutes or something like that.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I thought most of these games were actually like 10.
And I've got cheats on for like infinite arrows, and arrows are always ready, so, And there's also one that lets you see, like at the end, the big boss enemy at the end of it is invisible, except when lightning flashes.
Lightning strikes.
And you can turn that off so you can see him all the time. There's a dragon.
No, I do remember that. That was actually quite scary. Linus says,
I'm
surely
on fire.
It's a rabbit making rice cakes in the moon. Yeah, you're burning to death. And you know what's funny? There was actually a thing I was watching recently talking about violence in video games.
The stick is on fire.
Well, what else would it be? Violence in video games, where people, even back in the day when these were out, were freaking out about how they thought it was going to influence children to become violent and do things that their parents didn't want. Which, of course, no one has ever correlated ever.
Darn it. See, I think you can't kill him when he's in the background.
Oh, probably not.
But if you wait until he fires, I think you're pretty much
you're dead.
Oh, wow.
And remember, kids, you only had so many lives, and when you lost
I thought I turned on the cheats, though. I really did.
You may have to, because, we may not be as good anymore. It has been 4 decades. Actually, yeah, what level were you at? Were you at Innocent?
I'm pretty sure that's Innocent.
Okay, so I'd be curious. Phil says, yep, we gotta go. Keep having fun, guys. Yep. See you, Phil. And yeah, when you get a chance, check this out. I think you'll like it.
The music in this game is awesome. I love the music here.
It is. It's very iconic.
Let me restart this, and I'll go through the bit with the cheats.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. Lionel says, yeah, surely it's a rabbit making rice cakes on the moon, or elixir of life, depending on what part of the world you're from. Yeah, we're not sure exactly where all of our fans are. We are kind of global, actually. So yeah, I guess we should cover all the bases.
And I do have Project Firestart for later.
That's one of my diehard favorites. Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were going to try to push that, but Linus says, yeah, the fire looks like a guy is shitting his pants, and the flames are just the sink lines. Yeah, I think the stink lines would be good. But yeah, this is what graphics was back in the day, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, for all the big Commodore fans, basic V2 64K RAM system.
That was the problem I was having with this. It's like somehow I loaded it the first time, but now when I try to load it, it basically says press play on tape, and it doesn't.
Really?
Doesn't do anything.
Oh, was it the special load auto thing, or was it the other one?
I don't know. Smart attach.
Fun with emulators, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. But yeah, we got a bunch of different ones. You know, Cronus Rift was one, and yeah, Project Firestart was one of my favorites. I like that one so much. I wanted a movie version of that because I thought it would have been an interesting sci-fi. I can actually do a lot with that. You know, almost like a good Twilight Zone episode. In fact, while he's loading this up, actually, I just recently was watching a series on Netflix called what was it? Oh, Love, Death, and Robots. Have you seen any of that?
I've heard of that. I have not seen any of it yet.
That's really cool. Think of like, remember the Animatrix back in the day where they had little ensemble pieces of stuff? It looks like that. So yeah, doing something like that with Project Firestart, I think would be really, really awesome.
Oh, break. Nope, that was not it.
You broke the emulator.
I'm just gonna load the snapshot.
You sure? Yeah, it's probably best.
Yeah.
That's funny. So remember, computing back in the day, ladies and gentlemen,
was I
pretty much like this.
I knew that we were going to potentially have issues relating to the emulation.
Can you do a hard reset? Maybe that would be better.
Okay, that was weird.
Okay, we got something.
Oh.
Oh my god! Is it replaying or
no? It's loading too fast.
Oh, okay. Did you set the max speed or something?
No,
that's the funny thing with emulators. You've got way more options for this where you can literally set it like 300-400%. We've got 1 billion times more computing power than what we had. Oh, Lionel says, yeah, the Prince of Persia games would also make good streams.
I goofed something there. Did
you? Yep. Oh no. We're going to have to turn it off and on again.
It's still running too fast now.
It's super blinking.
Yeah,
what is that? You may have to quit the whole thing and restart it. That's funny. Now check your setting. No, check your settings to make sure you didn't accidentally have it set the speed max.
You know what it is? Warp mode. There's a thing called warp mode. It went into warp mode.
God. Why did? Oh my god. We've gone to plaid. There we go. Okay. So there we go. He's chasing spiders. And I love the fact that you cannot actually aim any lower than a certain predetermined angle. So the flexibility here is practically non-existent compared to games today. But still,
also you can see the character-based nature of the graphics there because that goes away behind you because you literally can't have something in front of something else.
Yep. Linus says straight to ludicrous speed. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Oh my god, this is cool.
Oh, I got him. There we go.
Yay! And the little dance. Now, do we have a name for this music, or is it just Forbidden Forest music?
I don't know. I don't know that they have
titled it.
that they have titles. I really don't know.
I wasn't sure if they thought of that back in the day of actually having themes and soundtracks. Because also growing up, Killing Game Show.
I don't know.
Yeah, Victory Dance. Yeah, Killing Game Show had like an absolute spectacular soundtrack for the Amiga days. Yeah,
also, once you aim an arrow, you can't move again till the arrow finishes flying. You literally the input doesn't do anything until then.
Oh, of course not, because it can only render one arrow at a time. I mean, come on, this isn't.
Oh, that was lucky.
Wow, talk about pulling that out. Yeah, Lino said some eternal screenshots in preparation for the 1.2 tour of duty. I was hoping to start at some point. You think? And he's got a link out there. We should check that out.
Oh, no. Yeah, see, once you start to fire an arrow, you're frozen in place.
Yeah,
so if the body is going to crush you, you just can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. And this was back in the day where... Oh, no, you're too close. Yeah, and you can't move until you're finished rotating.
Yes.
So if you're not facing the right direction, yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you can't run to one side until you shift it all the way to that side.
Yep. Now, do you have to shoot a certain amount?
I think you just have to shoot a certain number of them. Yeah.
Number.
And the game does have score. You can see it does have score.
I'm curious as to what a good high score for this game was or would be. I honestly don't remember.
Getting dark.
Bad things happen at night. Mostly.
I don't know. Bad things start to happen as soon as this game loads, let's be honest.
Linus says, yeah, the last one is a glitch for Eternal X Omega that I love. You know, I hope 1.2 still has it. The Jello Hell one. Ooh, yeah, we'll definitely have to check those.
When I was testing this, I literally one-shot the dragon as soon as he came on the screen. And I'm like, oh, yeah, right, wow, that used to be hard. No.
Run. No. I think if he gets to that point, yeah, either... Now, when you kill him, does the fireball disappear?
No, I don't think so.
Is that... Okay, so that's
I think it's like the frogs, so...
Yeah, it'll hit you anyway. We're playing Space Invaders.
Alright, so you can't avoid the fireball, though.
Yes. Yeah, I think at a certain point you can just
I guess
run.
The question is whether or not you need to... Like, do you need to counter-punch it? Like, do you need to wait until he fires and then avoid and then...
Linus says, yeah, the great view... Oh, he got you from the side. Oh, jeez. Now, how many lives do you have left? Or did you put on infinite?
I don't know. No, I didn't put it on infinite. I couldn't get it to load except from the snapshot. So the snapshot is already past the cheat screen.
Linus said, yeah, the Great View one is a quote from Sonic 10, i.e. the Japanese original.
Oh, that is.
Oh, that was cheap.
That is bull.
That was cheap. You were robbed. See, even back then, ladies and gentlemen, we actually had to worry about the games just being evil. It's all Paul's fault.
You know, you know what? See, I'm dumb. I should have saved a snapshot before the dragon, so that we could just have infinite runs at that. All right, anyway, let's. We'll give this another run.
Another run to see how far you can get. And after that, you know. Oh, it's Sonic X is X, not 10. So hard to tell these days. See, I never played Sonic.
No. See, we never owned any Sega hardware, or Nintendo
Jason
hardware.
Used to play
so most of those franchises we don't really have any personal experience of.
Yeah, we never had Mario. We never had Sonic. Friend Jason, he had the Apple and the Intellivision and the Sega Genesis. And we had the Atari, the 64, the Amiga, and
then an Xbox. I mean, really,
yeah, then an Xbox.
Straight to Xbox after that.
I did have the original PlayStation. Okay, yeah,
you had a PlayStation 1 for playing Resident Evil on, which I thought was kind of an ugly, stupid game at the time. I was like, especially the full motion video with all the massive compression artifacts. I'm like, wow, that's rubbish. I was not impressed at all.
Well, no, strangely enough, because the remake is out and is incredibly popular.
Boom.
No, the reason I actually got that was for Alien Trilogy. That was the to-have title, believe it or not. So to be honest, if we were to do an emulator of this again, yeah, I would love to do an Alien Trilogy emulation of the original PlayStation.
Oh, Lion said he has a Dreamcast and a replacement classic Xbox, replacing the one I lost in 2006 with a pair of Duke controllers. I don't think we have any Dukes left, do we? Do we?
No, sadly. And believe it or not, I've gone through, I don't know how many Xbox originals.
So I dropped a save here.
Yeah, probably a good idea. I want to know is why there are this many frogs, why are they so big, and why they want to all land on you. Oh, Golfer's in the chat. Hi, Golfer. He says, hey, guys. Hey, Golfer. I'd like to know what happened the other day. Well, we jumped into a chat, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, I got booted.
Golfer boot you?
I don't know if it was him or his friend. He was with somebody else. I just wanted to come in and say hi, and then he says, all I heard was like, wait a second, and then I was booted. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? So either I interrupted something or something was going on that I was not privy to. The ironic joke here is anytime I'm playing, Golfer just jumps in. So
all right, so is it Dragon time? Is this Dragon time now?
I believe
think it is.
so. And this,
all right, so I've got a save right. I've got a snapshot save right here then.
Yeah.
So we have as many shots at this as we want.
A little difficult. I don't know. Do we really want to have that many?
Actually, in testing, like I said, I got further than this.
Well, I know. In fact, that's when I'm worried.
But we never finished this back in the
Aliens.
day. I don't think I ever finished it.
I got up to the lightning, evil nastiness and whatnot, and it took forever. And a lot of times we were playing this on. I remember there was a version of this on the old Compaq that Dad used to bring home for accounting stuff. Oh, Golfer said, yeah, it was my friend. He was on his PC doing something. Yeah, well, he didn't know me, so I had a feeling that, you know, he was just like, you know, who the hell is this guy?
I can't dodge. Oh, no, that's the cheap. See, that's the cheap one.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things I think you got to learn that if you get into that situation, you've got to run in a certain direction and you have a choice.
And by the way, the day-night cycle here, I think really is actually, like, independent of the stages. So, like, if you get, like, if you take longer, oh, bugger. If you take longer to reach this stage, it will already be night before you get here.
I think you also have to remember the sequence.
All right.
Of which one's going left and which one's going right, because I think it just alternates. Yes.
Yeah, I think I got lucky in that, like, he went to the... Oh, okay.
You broke him. Now, can you shoot him in the ass? Look, there's a dragon ass.
Dragon ass origins.
You actually got him cut in half. Oh my god, that's awesome. Fire! Boo, boo!
Yeah, yeah. See, I think if you know which side he's coming from there, you can get him when he comes onto the screen.
Yeah, well,
and I think I just happened to get lucky when I was testing that I fired and he came on and that was it.
Hey, I think anytime you hit anything, you're getting lucky. But yeah, it just goes to show. Four decades of gaming.
So Golfer's getting the scout? That's kind of what I want to do too. Not today, but in general.
Yeah, I actually got mine, but I haven't played with it very much. Okay, now you want to run left or right?
Well, I'm assuming he's coming from the left. I'm just waiting for him to do a...
Isn't that where he came in last time? No, he's coming to the right. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, so close. Yeah. No, I think he'd be able to get him. Linus says, yeah, I forgot to mention as well, I said in a Marathon 2LP video that ALF1 has no HOM effect like other 2.5D engines do, but a black void. I was wrong.
Yep. Darn.
As I saw one of external X Omega. Boy, you're definitely dragging lunch here. He says, I think the black void was just something Varsa does to make texturing non-headache inducing. Laura, I think Laura Crow would love to hear stuff about that. Because she still mods and makes Marathon stuff. Oh!
That might have been a hit.
I almost thought you had it.
Yeah, I think literally you have to hit him in the mouth too. I don't think any hit counts.
Yeah, so Golfer says, yeah, I may grind for the Oxygen Scout thing today. I'm about 50% there now. Yeah, I did it. It was kind of a slog. In fact, we're talking about Destiny 2, for just in case anybody doesn't know.
Now, are these random? You see, I think these are randomized, because when I load the snapshot, the game should be in the same state, but the same thing doesn't happen every time. So that's truly random. At least as random as it can be. It's not like that die is already rolled. Is Leah Crow Shining Raving?
I honestly don't know. You'd have to ask. I haven't seen Leah in a while, so yeah, she may be busy.
Oh no.
I feel like we're cheating.
We're definitely cheating. I mean, save states you can definitely cheat way more, because this game had no save functionality at all.
No,
like most of them this age don't.
Yep. And it's funny, because now when you're talking about the character generations, now I kind of look at all the leaves, they look like dollar signs.
Yes, they do. I always thought they looked like dollar signs.
I never thought that until just now. You've broken the fourth wall of this game for me. But let's see. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, golfer. I actually ground. I got Thorn.
Oh, I got him! I got him!
Yay! Oh, that's awesome. I'm waiting for the victory dance music.
Yeah, some of those animations go on like longer than it seems they really need to, and I don't know whether that's because I mean, it's not loading anything. You know, there's nothing else being loaded. Like, the game gets loaded at the start, and that's it. That's the maximum level of loading.
Well, get ready to do a save.
Yes, I am.
Is there a hotkey? If not, you'll have to make one. Yeah, Linus is Shining Raving is someone from Hawaii who appears to be heading up the Marathon Redux project. That's probably her then.
This bit I saw last time. In fact, actually, this bit went on so long, I thought I was doing something wrong, which I was, because you have to hit the thing in the background. There's loads of skeletons, but you can kill as many skeletons as you want. So it's a real, if you want to like run up the score, just kill a load of skeletons before you kill the boss in the back.
Oh, Golfer says, "Hey, Narc, I will help you to catch you up on D2 because right now he is 699."
Oh, so Drifter raised the light cap as well, right? Because I had just reached 650 and had not done any forge
grinding
stuff at all. So
annoying, isn't it? It's like every time you get there, it's like they move the goalpost. Because see, for me, I want to reach the goalpost and then start grinding for getting the good gear and weapon rolls that I want. And there's no point in doing that until you get to the highest level. Otherwise, you're just, you know... Okay. Look out, snake.
It's a snake.
And yes, that was a snake, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh!
He spits venom and it melts you. You remember that?
Yes, I do remember that now.
So you must have gotten to this level then, if you remember it, so...
Yeah, and he dodges left... Oh, there, okay. Now, killing him kills... his projectile if it hasn't reached you yet. And supposedly this is one of the first video game depictions of blood for some reason. That's what Wikipedia says anyway.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I'll bet parents went absolutely mashugana because of it.
Really? I don't think Mom or Dad... Did Mom or Dad ever see us play this? I don't know.
Dad maybe. Because again, you know, being on the compact, he probably shooed me off of it because he wanted to work on his Lotus 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Golfer says, yeah, the Reckoning is pretty fun.
Oh, okay, yeah, I gotta say, now we're at the Demogorgon, I think.
Is it, or is the one just before it?
Yeah, in fact, actually, I think I might have, you know what, I think the cheat for invisibility is on, because I should not be able to see where he is unless the lightning flashes.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there's the lightning.
Yep.
Hey!
Yeah, so I think you got the cheat on. Yeah, because the whole thing with that one was that you literally could not see him at all.
Congratulations!
When you around, you couldn't find him.
Have a seizure.
Yeah,
I probably should have put a warning on this.
Yeah, warning: epileptic fits may incur if you watch this game.
Akomajo Dracula 2 has blood dripping off the title screen.
And even the skeletons in Dracula 1 come out of bloodied red. As
I honestly think that item on the Wikipedia page also had a little citation needed thing on it, so I think it's like somebody wrote that because they believed that, and there was no online reference for it.
Actually, online blood or screen stuff is actually not that big of a deal. There was a game called Carmageddon, which freaked people out, which is basically pixels.
I'm pretty sure that that's it, that is the whole game, because I think it just loops around and you're just doing spiders again. So
yes, I would not be surprised.
I don't know if it gets harder or whether it's just doing more and you're just racking up points or something.
I wouldn't be surprised either way if it ramps up the difficulty and just gives you another run.
Did we ever finish it? Did we ever kill the Demogorgon in the real live version?
I thought I did once. At least once. Because I do remember the lightning and shooting in the dark.
I do remember seeing that stage. I just don't remember if we actually beat it.
I did. I was thrilled when I did.
Okay. Maybe. I just don't remember for certain. Like, there are a lot of games that we started and never finished. Commodore games, Amiga games.
Obidus is the one that really always haunts me.
Oh, all those. Like, I don't think we ever finished Shadow of the Beast, although I think I've seen other people play it, and I think we were closer to the end than we thought we were.
Could be.
But Obidus,
Possibly.
no, never finished. Awesome never finished also because the disc crapped out on us, and we never got a replacement.
Really? I thought you beat Awesome.
No, that was like a 7-disc game, and there was an error on like disc 4, and like once. Oh, see, okay, it has gotten harder. You needed to kill 2 bees this time.
2 bees.
Yes. There you go.
All right, so are we ready for Aliens?
Yes, I tell you what. Why don't we take a really quick break
here,
and then we'll start with Aliens.
Okay, all right. So for those of you just tuning in, you are watching the Rampancy.net playthrough of Rampancy Retro, covering games that we grew up with as kids. We'll be back right after this.
All right, we're back. So the next game we're going to move on to here is called Aliens: The Computer Game. And this came out in 1986, published by Activision.
Coinciding with the movie. And I actually got this at Best Buy for $20.
Really? Did Best Buy exist back then?
Yes, it did. Believe it or not. And actually, I got
old games seem way older than the other stuff. Like Aliens the game is going to seem way more primitive and old than Aliens the movie, which completely holds up today. I mean, like I'm sure there are people who can look at the effects and say, "Oh, that doesn't look good," or "That doesn't look as good," or "You could do better today with CGI or something." But like, I find that movie entirely watchable, whereas a lot of these games are playable only for the nostalgia because the production values are just so low compared to the modern stuff that you'd be like, wow, why would I even look at that? In fact, actually, when we load up one of the other games, we should turn on the scanline emulation effect, which is on by default, that makes this look even more like it would have on an old CRT with really visible scan lines. Yeah, I know, but I didn't know that was there. So I was playing all this stuff before with that on, and it's on by default when you turn on the emulator.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the nostalgia factor just went up. Believe it or not, Best Buy was actually formerly called Sound of Music from 1966 until 1983. And the Best Buy company superstores came out in between 83 and 84. And it was basically, whittled down to just Best Buy. So that was from 84 to 89. So yeah, they actually were around in 86. Wow. And they actually offered all kinds of new things. So that's literally when Best Buy was new, when they were brand new. And I remember seeing this in a section. Yeah, I grabbed a screenshot of all the codes.
I just did myself as well. So we have these codes to skip the levels if we want to. And you're going to be playing, so these cheat settings don't matter for this. It'll matter whatever you chose. I don't know what you chose. But yeah, so let's get this going.
Oh, Lionel actually says, yeah, will you guys do Vast 2? It's out for the Mac App Store and across platforms.
I don't know. We'll take a look at that. I mean, we got a big backlog of stuff we want to do, and this is basically a palate cleanser before we start in on Nier Automata, which I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, Cyborg, yeah, we'll have to check out the screenshots and everything afterwards because we don't want to goof anything for what we're doing.
This one is trying so hard to be cinematic at such an early date, and they're even going to go through and they're going to have several like text screens of dialogue from the movie because they couldn't possibly have audio or video from it. And yeah, here I should turn on just for the heck of it. I should turn on the CRT emulations, which makes it look like that, which is more true to what the original looked like, but it's also kind of annoying to look at. I want the
good stuff. It is. I want to go back to the good stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll turn that off.
I want this looking as good as possible. We don't need to make it any
this looks like it used to look like. This looks like you imagined it looking.
Yeah, turn that off.
Turn it off.
Thank you. Yeah. Actually, do I have those settings?
I think they're just in a different place on your version because I'm using the Coco version of the emulator.
Yeah, mine are probably a little off.
Based on a film by James Cameron. Perhaps you have heard of it.
Linus says, yeah, didn't the Rambo games come up with a Famicom to do something similar with the text screen dialogues?
I don't know.
Possibly? Yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's one of the only games that have a cinematic presentation. Obviously, that's not true.
Okay, all right. So you ready to pull the trigger? Because we're going to do something a little different. We've actually got some.
Yes.
Yeah, it's tricky about spacebar and return.
Yep.
It's a lot more.
So here's the screen. It tells you everybody's alive. You can actually lose Marines during the course of the game. And this is where you would put in one of those codes we screenshotted earlier that would skip you to a level, because that's the only way these old games had of you selecting a stage. There's no save. Yeah. There's no no memory card. There's no way to do any of that stuff. And if you
you could jump to those stages, but that's
and if you don't have a stage code, you just hit return, and it starts with this. It's literally giving you like the movie's script, it's stage directions. It's
yeah.
I mean, it's
basically reading text.
The commitment to the bit is admirable. I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna read?
Oh, you read if you want to. You can see it, right?
Oh, okay. Sometime in the future, space, silent and endless, the stars shine like the love of God. Against them drifts a tiny chip of technology. It is the Narcissus, escape pod of the ill-fated star freighter Nostromo. Inside, sole survivor, Warrant Officer Ripley, has been drifting in hypersleep for 57 years.
I think the Narcissus in this scenario, I think, is James Cameron.
You think?
Yeah, a little bit.
Conference room, Gateway Station. Ripley faces a board of inquiry. And if you want to just read the dialogue,
yeah,
you know,
that's
Ripley
fine.
and whatever else.
We could just skip it.
Yeah. But see, what I did, which was kind of cool, and we'll just leave these here for a second, and people can pause if they want to read it. But what I did is that back in the day when we got a VHS copy of Aliens, and I remember actually sitting at the desk of our local video store waiting for people to drop them off because they only had a few copies. I think they only had like 2 or 3, right? And I was waiting for somebody to return it. And sure enough, somebody showed up, dropped it off while I was waiting, and I instantly rented it. I was like the 3rd person in town to rent that movie, and I was so excited running up the hill to tell Mom, look what I got. So while we had a copy of it, I was able to actually put it in a VCR and then run stereo cables to my tape deck.
Oh, and record
from
the
the
audio.
tape deck, I was able to record the audio of the whole movie. So what was cool was that back in the day, we had multiple tape decks. You could actually do, kind of primitive editing. So what I did was I paused and recorded in sequence all of the dialogue of this sequence of the game, so you could play it back as you played. And I even went so far as to do to go to Radio Shack and get a one of those blinking yellow work lights and a 12-volt battery.
Oh God!
So I could have that
That's right.
going
I remember
on.
that.
Swear to God.
Yeah.
Having that go off behind my Hitachi television set with the lights off in the room to make it look like the same lighting effects that they had during the dark sequences while playing the game. It was one of the most early immersive moments you can imagine. And it was spectacular. As a kid, I absolutely adored it.
All right. Well, we have a little bit of audio from the game from the movie. Excuse me. They're going to run over this next bit because this game obviously includes no dialogue and just the chiptune music. That's all.
Yep. But this is going to be a sample of what it was like for me.
Okay.
Morning, Marines. I'm sorry we didn't have time to brief you people before we left Gateway, but...
Sir?
Oh, come on.
Is it Hicks?
Hudson, sir. He's Hicks.
What's the question?
Is this gonna be a stand-up fight, sir, or another bug hunt?
All we know is that there's still no contact with the colony, and that a xenomorph may be involved.
Bug hunt.
I'll tell you what I know. One of our crew members was brought back on board with something attached to his face, some kind of parasite. We tried to get it off, it wouldn't come off. Later, it seemed to come off by itself and die. It must have laid something inside his throat. He...
Look, man, I only need to know one thing. Where they are.
I hope you're right. I really do.
I want DCS and tactical database assimilation by 0830. Ordnance loading, weapons strip, and dropship prep details will have 7 hours. Now move it, people!
Okay, and now this is where we go to the copy protection.
Ooh. So that was. We don't want to do the whole thing because we don't want to get a copyright strike.
No, we're going to skip over to you
literally,
now, right?
that was.
Are you ready?
Yeah, that was what it was like. It should be.
Yes.
You
Okay, all right, so now it's you.
So I'm moving around. Yep, you can see it.
Yep.
Okay. So the quote-unquote copy protection that this game had was that you had to identify all of these weapons in order when it asked you on demand. So here you had to show what the pistol was and then select it. And it says verification on the thing was confirmed. Actually, here, you know what? I'm going to mute myself in the other one here. Hold on 1 second. Just need to go to audio. Mute. Okay, so I just got the local one. So now you had to pick the flamethrower, and of course, if you didn't know the weapons from the movie, which of course I do, it could be confusing. That was the flamethrower.
Yeah, it's not really great as copy protection, because copy protection is supposed to be something that you would only know if you had the manual to the game. And this one, like, you can get this if you just know the movie really well, which is not really copy protection.
Not really, no. Okay. That's the locator band, and then the smart gun, which is this thing here.
Yeah.
Which back in the day, believe it or not, the smart gun, all it was a weapon attached to a Steadicam system, which was, of course, you know, an on-the-fly thing that Cameron and the guys came up with. This is the pulse rifle. And the motion tracker, which is here. In fact, you know what I wanted to do for this, and maybe we'll do it for one of the other Aliens titles, is I actually have a motion tracker app for my
on the iPhone, right?
Cell phone.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely spectacular. They did a really good job with it, so I want to feature that. Okay, and here's the image intensifier. Ta-da. Sequence complete. Press return to continue. Okay, so these are all my Marines. They all seem to be good, and this was the code that you got if you wanted to skip this section. How many drops is this for you, Lieutenant? 38. Simulated. How many combat drops? 2.
Oh yeah, I had that audio. I had that audio too. I forgot about it.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you didn't have it.
I don't have it queued up. I recorded it, but I didn't have it queued up.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll do that another time.
I could actually go. Never mind. Too late.
You could try. Okay, now here's the hard part. I did this once and actually got through it, but this is all left thumbstick, very inaccurate, and is not very forgiving. So let's see if we can get through this in one take. But believe it or not, I'm going to have to concentrate.
So this bit was actually adapted from another game.
Yes, he basically copied and pasted.
Yeah, there was a game where you flew a magic carpet, and so this sequence of basically just guiding the center of the reticle through the tunnel of rings here was taken from that. And I thought maybe they'd taken the music too, but it turns out no, this is a piece of virtual music done for this game. The other one, which I think is like Master of Lamps, I think it's called.
What I always hated was the dropship. You could tell he never actually saw the movie because it's all
camo on the front of it, yeah, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It doesn't look that way in the movie, and it wouldn't make any sense for it to be that way, especially where they're going, because there's no
jungle.
Yeah, there's no jungle on the planet. I mean, maybe it's really supposed to be for an Aliens versus Predator movie. I don't know.
No, he was probably just given a guideline that said, "Hey, it's a military vessel," and he just made up his own stuff. I always wanted to try and patch that out.
I always thought this piece of music was cool, though. I mean, it doesn't really fit the tone of the movie, but it seems to fit with the game, I think. But I just thought it was a neat bit of chiptune music. And the Commodore always had the best music of all the versions of the games that came out. You know, like way better than the Apple II, and I would say better. I would say better than the Atari as well.
Wow, I cannot tell you or describe exactly how tough that is, but it is really tough. And I'm doing this on an Xbox One controller.
I think the input lag on the old version though made it the original harder than this is.
Yes,
I think.
Absolutely. Well, this is a lot more accurate. I'm absolutely proud of myself.
Yeah. All right. Let me resize this. I think I can get this a little bit bigger.
Oh, can you? Yeah, see, I had to tweak mine a couple of times.
No, it's okay.
Now, technically, that's actually supposed to be blue. I think yours is coming through a little bit more purple.
Yeah, it looks kind of periwinkle to me.
Yeah.
But we don't know. I mean, like, maybe this was what it's supposed to have been the whole time.
I know, and this is like the PAL version, so yeah, I don't know. Okay, you don't have this dialogue, do you?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me look.
So if you do, that'd be great because it's a great scene.
Combat drops.
No, make auto continue.
I have a file called Lieutenant Gorman, but I don't know if that's what this is.
Well, you could try it.
All right, hold on one second. Let me add this. The game jumped ahead anyway.
Yep, it auto started anyway. Okay. Well, here we are,
no.
ladies and gentlemen.
Nope, that wasn't it anyway. Never mind.
Oh, okay. All right, good. It's okay. I probably should have been more fastidious if I wanted to do this. Okay. I'm already getting attacked by somebody.
Right. So this section of the game gives you control over 4 individual Marines. And you can see their little biorhythms there, and the little flashing red indicates who's in danger, and aliens come out from all the areas here. And I think while you're under attack, right, you can't leave this screen, right? The character cannot advance.
Nope. And the funny thing is that the directionality where you move, you can't change it while you're firing.
Yeah.
So you have to move in the direction of where you want to shoot.
Yeah, and then you can kind of strafe back and forth, but you can't.
Yes.
You can't change the orientation of your character in the space while firing.
And the cool thing about this part is that you don't have to worry about your ammo, but later on you do.
Yeah.
And of course, you kill things by getting on the same plane as them.
And so
but keep in mind, I mean, this is 86. I mean, this is so primitive, and yet it's so imaginative what people did. I mean, from the sounds of the aliens to the sounds of the guns.
Yeah. Okay. And so the objective here is this is the part of the movie where they've gone into the reactor segment of the atmosphere processor, and they've been ambushed by the alien, and so now they're supposed to get back to their personnel character. Yeah. See, you're having trouble with this bit like I was. You were like, oh man, this is so easy. I got it right away.
I wasn't that it was easy. Oh no! Did he get him?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't switch him.
You lost one.
Oh.
Unless you bring somebody else there before he dies, because those will flatline after a while.
Yeah, and I don't think I can, so I may have lost somebody outright already. I think I got lucky last time.
Yeah. So all these Marines are on separate screens, and they all have to be brought back to the APC. And if they don't make it, you lose those Marines, and the status screen will show you. And the trick is, if you can just get some of them on the screen together. See, now you can't leave because you get attacked. And
yeah, this is
now
happening a lot more rapidly than before. Did I change the difficulty on this?
I don't know. This is how it was going for me when I was testing. was pretty much like see, 2 Marines under attack almost immediately, and you're already down one as well.
No, it didn't do that for me last time.
No, this is what it was like for me. Maybe you got a lucky random number roll there.
No! Oh, jeez, I've already lost 2. Oh man! All right, this is not going as well. All right.
And so that's why I think there's a cheat the cheat that says you can't go off path, which literally prevents you from letting any of your Marines take a wrong turn. Like, it will only let you advance towards the APC. It won't let you go the wrong way.
Nah, I didn't want to do that. I just want to have some time to actually discover things. Oh man, I'm already down.
Yep.
Two guys. Dead. No, this is... Oh, man, I'm so disappointed. I wanted to replicate my success of the last one.
Forget him, he's gone!
He's gone, man. Oh, man, and I'm actually saving Frost. Frost didn't survive.
No, wasn't he like the first one to buy it because he was carrying the ammo bag, and then the ammo bag got thrown in the fire when they brought out the flamethrowers?
See, I think I got so lucky last time is that I was able to get 2 Marines together on the same screen. And once that happens, you can't get attacked.
Right.
So I was able to concentrate on the other ones quite readily. And for the map, I do remember that the alien-crusted part is down near the bottom, so you kind of want to head up. But the APC is actually in a section...
Is it in the upper right?
Just starts... No, it's kind of like the mid. There we go.
Okay.
All right, so that's one.
Okay.
That's one. Okay, so now I can concentrate on Dietrich. Which also,
you should,
was
of
actually
course,
the first
save
one to get
Marlena
attacked.
Dietrich. I mean, that would just make sense.
Well, I don't think it was Marlena. But yeah, Dietrich was the one that actually got attacked first, if I recall. And Frost was right next to her.
And
love the alien
and
sound,
usually
that was
what
so
Drake
creepy
doesn't
back in the
buy
day.
it in this part of the movie, Drake buys it later. I mean, obviously they all buy it later. Everybody except Hicks.
Well, I remember we actually did try and do a run that was movie specific. You know, where we literally were
just
trying
Hicks?
to get one.
Well, Hicks
no,
isn't
just
even in.
Everyone dies in order.
Yeah, Hicks isn't even in this section though. So like, so Hicks can't die here in the game, just like he doesn't die here in the movie.
Yep. But the neat thing about the alien encrusted parts like this one, we actually mapped out this entire sequence on graph paper, if you can imagine. But the alien sections mean that when you're being attacked, you can be attacked from any direction. Whereas in the normal parts of the facility, you can only be attacked on the same gantry-way that you can walk on. So that was kind of neat, where you actually had to worry about what section you were in. And this part I'm in is all the nasty encrusted bits. Of course, I'm going by memory here, so... I have no idea if any of this is right. Instinctively, I think... Yay! Alright. Wow, that went a lot quicker than I had imagined. So I got 2 out of 4 that time. I lost Drake and I lost Crow. Where's Crow? But still, though, that back of the day was like, oh, it was just so immersive. And the fact that this game in stages is totally different gameplay for everyone you do, but is also tied in with the movie was so cool. It was like literally getting 6 games in one.
Yeah.
Okay, did you have dialogue for this?
No, I did not go.
Okay.
I didn't go this deep. Yeah, Liza's Crows with Tom Servo and Joel. Yeah. There were a bunch of games that were kind of like that. I mean, like Awesome was like that in the sense that it had a bunch of different genres included in it. You know, a bunch of different kinds of combat segments.
Yep.
The Beachhead games were kind of like that.
Yes. Yes. Wow, Beachhead. Boy, that brings back memories.
I don't have that one. I should be able to get it.
I would think so.
I don't have it.
Lionel says, yeah, maybe Crow is with Tom Servo and Joel. Very likely. Now, this is a whole new stage. And this one is kind of unique at the fact that the technique for doing it...
Now, do the aliens change speed here? Or is the idea just to, like, they don't kill the slow ones?
Well, no, the idea is to not kill them as long as possible. Because when they speed up, and there will be multiples, makes it worse if you kill them outright.
I'm pretty sure that this is usually where, like, even if I managed to do well in the other bit, this was where I would lose a bunch of guys. And there's more guys you can lose. You see, you've got the character you're playing at, and then you have five backup guys.
Yep. So here the idea was...
Oh, wow, that's...
See, is to get the single slows...
Yeah, and
to hold them back. And to hold them back in sequence.
But do they speed up? Like, will that slow guy speed up if you keep not killing him, though? Or can you just keep a slow guy forever? Oh, that's a fast guy.
See, when you alternate and switch them, yeah, see, the idea is to be around, to only have...
Oh, wow, okay, I thought that guy had gotten by you there, that top one. I think the pairs are linked, so that if you get the second one in the pair...
I love
him. Okay, there's one. But he's almost through. You can still see the little icon, the little...
oh yeah, the door progress is doing much better than normal.
No, that's two.
But see, to hold the slows...
How convenient that they only go and take one at a time. It's very, very, very...
beautiful.
Very nice.
Look at that.
All right.
I'm impressed. 3. I lost 2?
Yep.
Yeah, I saved 3. Okay, so Hicks, Gorman, Vasquez, Hudson.
And...
so to be honest, Hudson should be dead at this point, and it only should be Hicks, Gorman, Vasquez. So I'm almost tied with the movie.
Is this where did Hudson die? Actually, is it that sequence where Hudson dies?
Yeah, Hudson died in this scene. Yeah, he literally should have been the one I let die at this.
Or did they just capture him? Because I thought they ran into Burke later. Did they run into Hudson later or not? I don't remember.
Well, here's the funny thing. There's actually discrepancy between the released novella and the film, where originally Hicks and Hudson are fighting. Hudson is dragged down through the floor. Burke is trying to escape out the back, and then Burke runs into an alien. And there's a scene where you see the aliens like stick his throat out and attack him, and that's the last time you see Burke.
Okay, now
in the book, though, there was a scene where when Ripley is going back to get Newt, she actually runs into him, who's encrusted in the wall, and says, please ask her to kill her because he can feel the alien in his chest. So in the book, he actually gets impregnated and wants to die.
Right.
And the scene where, if you remember, she's grabbing Newt and running away and there's an explosion, the explanation for what that explosion was is that Ripley handed him a grenade and walked away. But none of that scene was in the movie at all.
Yeah. Yeah, Hudson is the one who's talking crap on the dropship before they go down, and then immediately craps himself when the aliens show up and gets defeatist and says, "Right, man, we've lost. Game over." He's the game over guy. He's the guy who's yelling man. Game over. And then Burke says, "Why don't we make a campfire and sing some songs?"
Yeah.
By the way, you got a different status code there. So the status codes aren't just for the stages, but they also include like who's alive and who's dead. So that was a unique code. If you entered that in, that would enter this section with those Marines dead and the ones you saved alive.
Correct.
The ones we get in the cheat sheet, I think, are for like you save everybody.
Lionel says, was Hudson the crazy guy who panics when he sees the aliens?
Yeah, that's him.
Yes. Okay, now here is the maze version of the game, which I am probably going to lose in about 2 seconds.
Now it's Pac-Man.
Because it's way too fast. Yeah. Okay, I should have been moving the moment I started going someplace.
Yep. Now, if you want, you can enter in one of the codes, and you'll have more.
No, I want to see if I can get through the maze once. Restore to try again. Let's try this again.
It's escape.
Yep. Oh, did it freeze up?
That's possible. Oh, no, I hear it. I hear the sound. Probably should have been saving snapshots as we went.
Probably. Yeah, as you can see, my joystick it's actually working, but
actually, I can hear the music, but all I see is still the company memorandum screen.
Yeah, when I hit run stop restore,
well, that's escape.
Yeah, it just locks up.
All right, we'll load the snapshot where you loaded it before, and then we'll just enter in a code.
Okay. Oh, no, the smart gun. Okay, let's see if there's an option here to put in a code here.
Yeah, return to continue.
Oh, I can repeat the previous section. Where does it give me the option for putting in codes?
No, you have to continue from here and then do it. Yep. Oh, is it gonna load you straight into the?
Probably. Is there a section at the beginning we can put in the code here?
Well, I mean, that if you boot the whole game from start, there is a place to enter a code. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we try that? Yeah. Let's reboot this. Remember the comma 8, comma 1.
Yep.
I always put in a space between load and the quotes. I guess you didn't need it.
Yeah, you didn't need it, but I always would do it just so it looked correct. I would recommend letting the title sequence run. All right. Well, here you can do. You can select your cheats now if you want. And that one literally lets you skip a section by using the C key.
What says Alt C? Is that right? Oh no, Alt C equals key to skip. All right, so which section were we at? 4?
I think we're on 4, yeah. I have the codes. I didn't get the code you got off the screen.
Oh, okay, so I get a key to skip. Yes. Okay, so now I can hit space.
I would let this run because I had trouble with the emulator. Yeah. Like, you can hit a key and it will stop this section early, but then it didn't seem to load after that. So I would just let...
I love Lionel. He says, oh, we're trapped in here, man. We're screwed, man. We're screwed. No, that's Halo. See, I think it's actually loading in the background while this is actually
I think
running.
This is. If I remember correctly, this would be something that would show while it was still loading off of disk. So by the time this came out, we weren't loading off stuff off tape anymore. We were loading it off a 1541 drive. I'm trying to remember. I think later I got a 1581, so we had both of them. But I don't know.
Did you? I don't remember the big one.
Oh, 1571. Excuse me.
I actually had mine vertical in my little.
Actually, you could probably save a snapshot here if you want. Yeah, okay, so now you can enter in the code.
Yes. All right, so what's the code for
5761H.
Yay, it's valid. I was worried for a second. Okay, so now sadly, of course, everyone's live.
Yeah, this one's alive. It's not your status code, it's just a cheat code.
Okay, now I just got to remember to run as soon as this thing comes up. Okay, here we go.
It was also, wasn't there a section of Mission Impossible that was like this?
Oh god, yeah.
And there's a short sequence in Another World that's also kind of like this. Or Out of This World, depending on what region you're looking at. The thing I thought was cheesy about this is that, like, you're playing as the group of people in the ducks, but you're looking at... no.
Nope. Yeah.
Now, do you just die, or do you lose one of your guys from that?
I wish it was you only lose one of your guys, but no, you apparently die. I mean, it's literally that.
I think each alien who traps you takes away one guy. Yeah, see, they're going away. They're disappearing one by one, but you still need an escape route, you know, if you don't have one. If you're trapped from both sides and you just don't, you don't have a choice. You don't have any way out. So you're looking at this. This is kind of like the sequence in the vents in the first movie, not the second one. So you're kind of, I guess you're playing as Dallas looking at what other people are doing in the vents. It's kind of weird. Just load the snapshot if that doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, sadly, the game seems to break right there, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so...
5761H.
Oop. What's really funny is that it doesn't work on the numpad. It only works on the main keyboard.
Yeah.
Because those didn't exist.
I also think the emulator probably turns numlock off even if you have it on. I wouldn't be,
probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay.
Now, do you know the route that you have to take?
I remember the one I need to go to, but see, the problem is, and what I was never a fan of, is that they can literally pop up randomly anywhere. So it's not like they're in the pipes and you've got to make sure you don't get them. You literally have to anticipate where they are and hope that you actually have a route to escape, which right now I don't. You see? I'm completely trapped.
Yeah, but I think if you push towards that one guy, you could get past him by spending one life, I think.
No, you can't.
No?
It's literally, no, as soon as they touch you, you die. That's the annoying bit.
I don't think it's supposed to work that way.
Oh, it always was. Yeah, It's literally all or nothing. So we may not continue on with this simply because this.
Well, we can skip that section and load straight to section 5.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. So, but just for the record, though, I have actually beaten that on many occasions. It's just that for this not being repeatable is a little annoying, and we don't want to bug
okay,
people.
so the code for section 5 is 0640C.
C. Okay, and this is the scene where Ripley's going in to save Newt. Now, this is what's really cool, because just like the movie, she's going in with a limited amount of equipment. She's got, a certain amount of flares, but she's only got 99 rounds in the weapon.
Right.
So, depending on what aliens you encounter, that's all you've got.
And so this is similar to the section earlier in the game where we were controlling 4 Marines, except now it's only Ripley. But we have the added things of the ammo management, and the timer besides.
Yes. Well, not only that, but also you've got your rangefinder.
So here you're just supposed to get Newt and get out. You're not supposed to necessarily try to engage every alien you run into.
I'm totally just kind of like spurting.
You have 15 minutes to reach minimum safe distance.
Oop, and Wasted's on there.
You have 14 minutes to reach minimum safe distance.
Oh, I'm wasting ammo.
Are you going in a circle?
I kind of am,
I think you've gone in a circle, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. They have this little trick with the rangefinder where you have to go into a different section. And of course, the time is sped up.
Yes, well, of course.
Yeah, I think I want to put a flare right there because I think that's where I need to be. Yeah, see, I had to go over one. Okay. There's also drop a flare up there. And those were really handy because this maze is just like, ugh. Okay, yeah, so this is the egg section. If you remember the film.
Yep.
Where the queen was and whatnot.
Now, you don't get anything for shooting eggs there, do you?
No, in fact, you can't really do anything there.
Okay.
Okay, so this way is 30, 31. This is the numbers increasing, so the way to go is this way.
You have 11 minutes to reach minimum safe distance.
Oh, no, it's going up. What?
Oop, 33. Oh, maybe up?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, getting close. 20. Cue the Metroid FDS escape thing. Yeah, Metroid's another franchise we never paid. No, okay, let's go up left. You're being clever about your flare placement too.
I'm trying to be. Okay.
No, it's got to be up. Yep, and you have to be almost there because you're out of flares.
No! No! Oh, did the game freeze or did I get killed?
I think you get killed.
No, I get killed.
Oh, Vort's in the chat. Hi, Vort.
Oh. Hey, Vort. Wow, it's been a while. Yeah, welcome. We're playing old retro games. We're doing Aliens by Activision from 1986. I may have to load that again.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to save snapshots as you play that, I think.
Yeah, it really is. So we'll just have to put in the code for that one. That one was level 5.
No, you could totally finish that. Yeah, that's 0640C.
I thought I was doing pretty well there.
Oh, yeah, I thought so too.
That route is very convoluted. But yeah, the flare placement and everything, yeah, you got to be really, really close. But yeah, you know what? I'm half tempted to actually go through with a modern editor and actually sync up all the scenes of dialogue and everything, including the music, just to have like a quintessential version of it. You know what I mean? Okay, so that. I must try to avoid.
Yeah, because they don't chase you screen to screen. So, like, when, you know, and if you know where you're going already, the only thing is, like, if you need to drop a flare, then you need to be on a safe screen, so you probably need to get rid of them there. But they do stay, they don't go away, so if you backtrack, they are there. Oh, Vort says, one of my favorite RPGs is getting a sequel after 16 years.
Oh, no, it got stuck again.
Oh, no.
You gotta be kidding me. That's so not fair. Okay.
What game is that?
I probably shouldn't have been looking at Vort's chat.
Vampire Lions says Vampire Bloodlines. 0640C. I'm so glad the delete key works on that. I was thinking it'd be like, no, you'd have to enter in a full wrong code and then load it again. Bart says you would be correct. I'm like, all right, so Vampire. I don't think we've ever played any of those games either.
See all the stuff that we missed. We were too busy playing these things as kids.
You might want to drop a snapshot at the start of this section, even if it costs you a few seconds.
Okay, save snapshot. Okay, call this one section 5. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Yeah, because that first screen is safe except for the timer, of course.
Yep. Hey, come on. Oh, I think we're...
Yeah, that's the wrong way. Yeah, I think you're in this loop. I think there's a place where they try to lure you into a loop.
And it's real easy to do it. Yeah, see, I think I went right instead of left.
And you can start making decisions about where to go, but if you just follow at that point,
Yeah, see, if you go down, you end up in that little section there.
Don't you want to go left there? No? No? Okay, I guess you're right. Oh, yeah, okay, there's the X section. You don't need to drop flare there. You know from the X section you go up, right?
Yeah, I think I know I still want to go up. See, I'm trying to put them in sections where, like, there are multiples.
So you get more out of your ammo?
Well, it's just that if I have multiple directions to go, I want to know which one to actually return to. Whereas the walkways are singles.
Oh, and Lion's reminding everybody that all the Halo games are now coming to Steam. Yeah, because they're bringing Master Chief Collection to PC.
Yeah.
So if you've ever wanted to play Halo while simultaneously worrying about any files...
Well, to be honest, I was wondering if we were going to do it for Halo 3.
I don't know. Maybe? I mean, I don't think... They didn't remaster Halo 3, so I don't think... It's not like you're going to get any benefit. You know, it's not like it's going to look that much better, I don't think. Like, they remastered Halo 1 and 2, or you know, they redid some of the, the graphics. Oh, there we are, okay. All right.
Okay, I got less than 39 rounds here. All right, I got nude. Escort mission. My thumb.
Yeah, so I just don't know. I don't know if there's going to be any improvement. I don't know.
Because there is.
Yeah, you guys stuck in another loop.
No, I'm not shooting. What am I doing? Okay, I think I pushed on the thumbstick a little too hard.
Oh.
And because if you push it on the thumbstick, it pulls the trigger.
I think you're still stuck in the loop too. Oh no, there you go. There's flare. There you go. All right.
Yep.
11 minutes. You got plenty of time.
Oh, I got 11 minutes. No, don't get stuck. Okay, now here comes the fun part. I need to have enough ammo to push her away. Oh, yes. Okay, now the sad part is now I have none. So I literally have to duck and weave. And the rubber on this thumbstick is really hard. It's getting stuck. And it's sliding.
And the flares are only good for trail, right? I mean, they don't actually deter the enemy at all. It's not alien isolation.
Not at all. Nope. I literally have to reposition my thumb every, like, half second. Now the screen's shaking.
Yay, alright. And now this is a clean section, though, isn't it? This is a clean section, so nothing will attack you here, right?
Well, not necessarily. Oh, yay. 7 minutes. Phew. I still had an extra flare.
7 minutes left, barely. Hardly even any drama. 0663F. Yeah, okay, and that's the same code I have for the last section.
Yep. I'm getting sweaty here. Oh my god. Okay. Lionel says, yeah, you got nude on live TV. You know, at least the girls will be happy. Not so much the FCC. Or the BBC in his case.
Yeah, I'll put a tag on the YouTube video for nudity.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, save snapshot. Do this section 6. Okay.
I wonder if they wrote this text specifically for the game, or did they just take this from the screenplay, or did they take it from the novelization?
I think a lot of this... to be honest, I think that a lot of this is original. I think this is basically a summation of what's going on from the scenes or when they were told what to include with it. I don't think it was anything copied direct. But this is one of the most badass moments in sci-fi history.
On this screenshot was on the game, but was on the box, if I remember.
Get away from her, you bitch! See, I would have had that audio ready. But remember when this was actually a cool graphic scene where, like, wow, look at the detail.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I have to admit, I think that, like, the limited number of colors, obviously, that you can have on screen at once is a thing.
Yep. Okay, now this... This is the most disappointing ending
to
the coolest game everywhere, where basically you are just beating
Yeah, you basically just you whack her with the sides to keep her from getting to you, and that tires her out so you can grab her, right?
Yeah. And you can't let her get too close.
And she recovers her stamina really quickly though too. So it's like not health. Yeah. It's like you're not really hurting her. You're just tiring her out.
Yep. Oh, yeah,
she got you.
Yeah, which to be honest, I thought that was kind of cheesy. I thought that was a little too close.
Hell, it says Conquer does this scene better, and it even makes a Mario 64 reference. It's even got the sound effect of the acid there. It's
yeah.
Acid. Oh no, acid.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can take a snapshot like right after
you can take a
this.
snapshot anytime. You can
okay,
even in the middle of this cutscene. You could I say cutscene. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, pretty sure the dropship wasn't blue.
No, I think with the lighting and everything. Okay. All right, so I should have one like right here.
Cool.
Oh, she did it again. Yeah, I think the blue lighting and whatever else was kind of a little odd, but you know, I think it was the best that they could do at the time. Yeah, okay, that's a lot easier to work with. Okay. So the trick, if I recall, is to get her in an area where you can just push her off to the sides.
No.
But not give her enough room to maneuver anywhere else.
Line says, since everyone survived, the xenomorphs won't get their dinner of fish and Hicks with Colonel Reese's Pieces for dessert.
Oh, I love Reese's Pieces. Oh, seriously?
Isn't Colonel Reese from another franchise? This isn't Terminator.
Oh,
well, yeah. See,
you literally
these things are not. These games are not fair, you know.
No. Well, there's no such thing as fair. You know, fair didn't exist back in the
load
80s
time
video games
for an actual Commodore at this point. I mean, like every time that happened, it would be like a few minutes before you could try again.
Yeah. So gaming took forever in the past.
Now you can't.
Yes, look at that. Now that totally should hit her.
You can't grab her while her stamina is high, right?
No, you cannot do it until it's absolutely down to nothing.
Okay.
But at least I got a quick load on this thing. Yes, I want to get her back in there. It's actually doing pretty well there for a bit.
Yeah, but she gets it back so
the difference
quickly,
between. Oh, God, yeah. And to be honest, because the computer today is so fast, I think it's actually affecting
well, you should be able to limit that.
Maybe I should put it down to like 80% or something just to give me a chance.
Yeah, I think you can do that. And the emulator even has a bunch of different executables to emulate different versions of the Commodore 64, some of which are later and more powerful. Boing. It's like the weirdest game of Pong ever.
Yeah, it's a little cheesy. I was never a fan of the last level of this game.
Yeah, and on my version of the emulator, under options, there's a menu item for maximum speed and the default to 100. So if you drop that down, this probably would go slower. But I think you've almost got her now. Yeah, so now you can grab. Yeah, she gets back. Yeah, almost. Okay.
She's getting slower, which is making this easier.
Seems like it's really fiddly about letting you grab her.
Oh, it always was. And she doesn't stay perfectly green for very long, even if, like, you're trying to overdo it like I am now.
Yeah, you don't get. I don't think you get any mileage out of that. You don't get any
Sadly,
benefit out of hitting her more when you've knocked all the stamina off.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, and now she's got almost completely back. Yep.
Nope. Oh, I thought you had her for a second. I thought it was going to let you do it there.
No, it's like every time I want her to attack, she doesn't.
Yeah, I think you also can't grab her when she's at maximum distance.
No,
there. She has to come in on you.
Not only does she have to come in, but I also have to move it forward to actually grab her. I can't just run the pinchers. I actually have to move in on her.
Nope.
So wanted it right there. It's like you got a head faker by retracting and having her come in. Oh, I thought I had that.
Yeah, like these days, this would be a quick time event. It would be like, press X to grab alien.
Oh, no. I thought I had that. Yeah, we're so spoiled by all the different things that games have turned into over the years. Probably should have saved a cutscene for the end of this in case I couldn't actually do it, because I didn't think about... Oh, I thought I had that.
Were Wolfenstein 1 Beyond Castle Wolfenstein on C64? I don't know. I remember having friends who had the early Castle Wolfenstein games on the Apple II.
Oh, I thought I had that finally. I'm gonna see if I can just like maintain
because that was a couple years before that. That's 84, and
I got her! I got her!
Oh, we're right! Yay!
Bye! Finally! Oh my god!
Yes, there was a Commodore 64 version of Beyond Castle Wolfenstein, but I don't think we had it.
Not bad for a human.
Man, that's kind of gory for a video game. But then again,
oh, very. As Newt is being tucked into the hypersleep capsule for the journey home, she grasps Ripley's hand. Newt, are we going to sleep now? Will I dream?
Yep. And now you're gonna die off screen before Alien 3.
Oh, please. They're actually going to be doing a retcon of the next Terminator movie by making the other ones that have come out since T2 a dream sequence or a bad nightmare, or they're literally going to ignore them or retcon them completely. I want someone to do that with the Alien series because, to be honest, I thought a really great way to bring it back to where Cameron left it off is to have all the other movies be a dream sequence they had in the hypersleep chambers. That's
kind of cheesy, though. But I mean,
oh no, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I don't completely disagree.
Okay, so believe it or not, that was Aliens 1986 from the Commodore 64. Let's see. what was the next one that you wanted
Well,
to do?
I tell you what, when we take another short break, and we'll come back and do Coronis Rift.
Ooh, because and Narc can drive that one. So anyone who's just tuning in now, you are watching the Rampancy.net playthrough of the Rampancy Retro Edition, where we're covering games from the Commodore 64 in the era we grew up. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back after this.
All right, we're back, and the next game up is Corona's Rift from LucasArts, or Lucasfilm Games, LucasArts, I'm not sure. It says copyright Lucasfilm. I don't know if LucasArts Games existed at this point.
Oh, now wait a minute. I thought we were going in order, because this one's 85.
You know, what's funny, Wikipedia has different years for some of these. I'm not sure. Like, some of them said it was 86, but it may be that the earliest version, which may have been out on Atari, came out in 85, and there's actually been like a remake of this. Like somebody made like a slightly more modern PC remake, or was trying to.
Neat.
All right, let's take the pause off here.
Okay, so I can shut this down?
Yes. All right. So, Corona's Rift is kind of an odd game. This is gonna be very different from the previous two.
Yeah, it is an odd duckling, but a really, really cool one, because one of the elements that I liked about Aliens was the fact that it was like 6 games in one. You know, it had all these different elements. It had maze, it had shooting, it had piloting, it had crane operation. Whereas this one's is basically a resource, travel, landing, combat, upgrade, you know, module plug-in, you know, space exploration
this
type
one's
thing.
basically
it is
got
an amalgamation of a lot.
Yeah, this one's basically got 2 phases though, which is one of them is played here inside your ship. You are a in fact, actually, let me bring up the manual.
Which Destiny desperately needs.
Yeah,
because it has been a while too.
So let me bring over.
Lino says it looks cool.
The manual, right?
Yeah, this is the iconography, and I love the fact that they use the old school print paper scan, so you can see what it used to look like back in the day. Because manual design and everything was a big thing with games. You know, it was, you know, people nowadays, they just take a manual and just throw it away. Here, it was a chance to explore the artistry. It was a chance for people to be imaginative.
Oh, look, this was written on the 24th of February.
Yeah,
20, I mean, a lot of effort went into this. So this talks about, for instance, SciTech, your science droid analyzer. That's who this robot is we were looking at a minute ago. We're kind of a intergalactic or interstellar scavenger, and we're looking pirates. Yeah, we're looking for this special planet that is full of ancient advanced technology.
Neat, huh?
Yeah, so we're going to be going down to a series of valleys or rifts on the planet Coronis, where there's a bunch of crashed spacecrafts that are being guarded by things called Guardian saucers.
Guardians. Which are bad ones.
And what we're going to...
Yeah, it's funny, the Guardians are bad.
Yeah, and what we're going to be doing is looking for the crashed ships and sending out our little repo bot to go grab technology from those ships, which we can then install on our little rover and use. And a lot of the manual is really quite essential to being able to play this game at all.
Yeah, it's pretty dense.
And I'll show you why, because down here at the bottom, like we're almost halfway through the manual now, and they start talking about what is known about the ancient alien civilizations. Like for instance, here's one particular species of things that kind of looks like a big manta ray. But then it tells you what you actually need to know, which is that these are the
system iconography.
Different kinds of modules that you can have installed on your rover. Laser, shield, power generator, power reserve, radar, which lets you find various hulks, and electronic countermeasure, which stops Guardian saucers from being able to find you, and a drive. And
in fact, you know what? I remember as a kid asking the difference between the battery and the generator.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to figure out, wait a minute, they get 2 power things?
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, we were little kids.
Yeah, because all modules consume power, but some of them require a power reserve. So the generator influences how much maximum power you can generate, like how quickly your power comes back when you use it. And the reserve acts as a buffer between that. So you can have a lot of different states, right? Where you could have a weak generator, but you can make up for it by having a big battery. Obviously, having a good one for both is good.
Yeah, Lionel says, yeah, I keep my manuals for fun as they can be pretty well written.
I got a bunch
and back in the day, there was no better example of it because people put so much into the art and the artistry, but also the imagination and the application of the game because this was part of the game.
Yes.
You know, was the reading and the world building.
And so every module that you loot from a Hulk has got two icons on it. One is an icon from this first collection that tells you what it is, and another one that tells you who made it. They don't give you the names of the species, but they give you a little bit of a description. So, for instance, we have sessile creatures that get nourishment from water and sunlight and use photosynthesis. Flying omnivores that look like a manta ray. They are quick and sharp of hearing. And each one of these things gives you a hint at what each race might have been good at, which will give you an idea of how effective the modules they make for that thing. For instance, this one here, plant intelligence, use reflective leaves to defend itself, and capable of limited motion. And that gives you the idea that they're probably good at making shields. They're probably bad at making, motive systems. I often thought it was kind of counterintuitive because I would have thought they would have used technology to make up for their innate deficiencies, and so like maybe these plant guys being unable to move without assistance would have used their technology to make the best drive systems, but it doesn't work that way. Basically, you assume that the technology that a race makes mirrors their own natures, right? And so, for instance, like when you talk here about skilled hunters, that means their weapons might be good. Good sense of terrain and cover. Maybe their electronic countermeasures are good. Underground dwellers, blind but able to sense magnetic fields. They probably make good sensor units. So you get the idea.
Scanners of the. Yeah, it's basically like leaving little nuggets and clues in them, and to be honest, that was really cool.
And what we'll do is that every time we loot one of these crashed ships, we'll be able to bring that unit back here, and he'll tell us, the robot SciTech there will give us some information about it. They won't tell us what the function is, but they will give us some basic stats about, I think it's power, efficiency, and value. And if you don't want to use or keep a module, you can break it down for credits, which kind of functions as your score. Now, I've also got a bunch of sheets turned off on this because the difficulty in this can also be quite punishing, and we're not interested in exploring that. We're not going to finish this game. This thing has 20 rifts, and they're all pretty big.
I was going to say,
no.
Yeah, they're all huge, and we'll just give you a sample of a few. In fact, I wasn't sure if you had a couple saved areas or maybe a save near the ending or something.
No, not a lot. I was kind of hoping to do that, but I just did not have time to do that.
Okay, so we'll just give you a run through.
So basically, I can use the stick to move up and down through the controls here. And when I get to the top of the screen, it moves forward. Here, I'll pause it here for a second so I can talk about the about the interface here, right? So down here are the modules. I've got a standard weapon, laser weapon, and a standard shield. The display is from the top left. This is a radar, which tells me where the nearest Hulk is. I have a radar by default that doesn't use a module slot, but I can plug in a module that will override it, and that will look for...
It gives you an enhanced one, right?
Well, not really. What it usually does is that it usually points you towards Hulks that have modules made by the same race as the radar module you've installed. So if you wanted like one of those plant races shield, if you come across a plant race radar, then that will help you look for that.
Lino says, yeah, it looks like System Shock.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? System Shock 2 is also one on my list that we want to play at some point, too.
Because it has co-op.
Okay, so let's loot the Hulk.
The second screen isn't used unless you have another module installed. The third one is basically...
Yeah, those are optional, right?
Yeah, except for the fifth one, which never gets used. Nothing ever plugged into the fifth one.
I always thought we could get one for that.
This third one is the drive system, so as you move forward or turn left and right, it shows you that, and it also shows you your speed. This fourth one is the laser. It shows you how powerful your laser is and what your reserve power is. So like right now I have a really weak laser because it's a really small bar, and I have almost no reserve power, which means I fire once and it has to recharge a bit. And
I remember when you got that up to maximum and you could fire boom and then get it right back. Boom, you could get it right back. And you were so thrilled.
And this last one is shield strength and shield lasers. It's kind of like Destiny, right? They're color coded, right? So there are different color lasers and different color shields, and the same color shields are strong against the same color laser. So right now you can say I have a basic shield. It's so weak against everything that it basically doesn't register on the menu.
Yeah, it does nothing. And I remember that graph being a lot higher on the different types that you have.
So when you get near a Hulk, you can send your robot out to get the Hulk. You have to wait for it to come back. You can call your ship to then go back to the robot, but you can't do that while you're under attack. So
yeah, you can get shot at here, and you actually have to rotate to where they're actually coming from, because they can come from different directions, I think.
Yes.
Is that right?
So now I'm going to loot this Hulk. My little robot guy goes out, and he grabs the thing and comes back.
He's got that little one eye in the middle.
And now I have another one, which is add module, so I can add that. And that is a plant shield. I'm going to turn that on. And now I'm under attack.
Okay, yeah, because I remember at some point, and of course this is not exactly 3D, but damn, it's close for the day.
Well, it's fractals. I mean, that was the whole thing about rescuing fractals. The idea was using math to generate this terrain and not having to save your levels as bitmaps, so you could create what would appear to be really big game areas with relatively little memory and disk space.
Yeah, it was not only a great, space and time saver.
Loot and I can't escape while I'm waiting to be attacked. So I kind of have to hang around. I could try running away, but I've got cheats on, so basically like everything is a one-hit kill, and I think I'm immortal. And the shooting mechanics in this are really clumsy. There's awkward acceleration on your reticle.
Well, keep in mind, we're on even modern, better joysticks from today. I mean, back in the day, they were mechanically very limited.
So all clear. I can now.
So even the Atari joysticks for this would be a lot more painful. I mean, I've actually grabbed a 2600 Atari joystick. Man, those things hurt.
Yep.
And I actually remember getting a really, really awesome one for the Commodore. You remember that? Oh, cool. Yeah, you remember that flight stick that I got? The one with the red buttons?
Yep.
That I got for the Commodore? That was a really cool joystick. I gotta remember who manufactured it.
I had one that was made by Epix that was kind of an ergonomic thing, made covered in white rubber. One. That I liked that one pretty much. That was pretty.
Yeah, that was spectacular because it had those clickable switches, those 4 clickable ones that were better than any other switch that came out at all. And those were quite spectacular.
Now, if I remember, the thing about this generator is it actually is not good. It actually makes you slower. It generates less power.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Not all modules that you find are better than what you have. And you can try...
I thought this ship was cool, too.
Yeah, you can try activating them before going to the robot to get a rating, but they may have a negative effect on you. They may decrease your capabilities. And also, if they're very inefficient, they can end up using a lot of power and harming other systems. One thing you can see here, though, is that the shield one I got from the plant species is definitely better than the one I had, because now I have blue, green, and yellow bars in my shield.
Bars on there, yep. And you never had that before, so that is definitely an improvement. I always thought this kind of ship style was cool, too.
Oh, yeah, this one I thought kind of looked like Jabba Hutt's sail barge thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just thought it was neat. It was also still hovering in the air. But yeah, the whole concept of this...
And that's a radar, if I remember correctly.
Bad guy's coming.
What's really weird was that, like, some of the symbols between the Atari and Commodore versions were different. And, like, some of the manuals had, like, the wrong ones.
Oh, they kind of goofed it? Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
That one is a radar, though. And, of course, you only have the 6 slots. So once you've filled the 6 slots with modules, whether you've turned them on or not, that's it. You have to go back to the ship. And the lab where the robot analyzes things also has a limited number of storage slots. So there's some point where you basically have to start breaking them down, and you can't just hoard everything you've come across.
Yeah, this also this is the Scorpion ship too. This was another one that I thought was really, really neat.
Oh, this looked like the thing from Ball Blazer. I always thought this was the craft from Ball Blazer. It looked exactly like that.
Oh, that's very true. I always thought we should also do a Starglider 2.
Yeah, I would like to.
For the retro series.
That runs so fast in emulation, it's almost unplayable.
Well, you can slow it down, right?
Yeah. Also, by the way,
we may have to do that.
It will let you shoot a Hulk, and that will destroy the Hulk and the module that's in it.
No.
It's really easy to do.
I think I remember doing that by accident.
And the game will just let you, even if the best module in a level, one that you really wish you had for the next level, is there, it will let you destroy that. And you can only save when you're safely on the ship. You cannot save down here, and you cannot get a call back to the ship while you're under attack.
Yeah. Now, can you accidentally put a module in one that you already had a module on and ruin the module?
No,
or disappear
it won't
the
let
module?
you do that.
Okay.
I think you can lose a module if you get attacked while the Repotech robot is on its way back to you. You can actually shoot it by mistake, or it can get shot, and that will lose it. Now you have an unlimited number of the bots. If you just go to the ship and come back, you'll get another robot because you can't finish the game without it. But you can lose the module he's carrying.
Now, is this true? Because I vaguely remember either accidentally or on purpose blowing up something that was in this that you thought was very, very important.
Oh, well, it's possible. Remember. Like if I send the robot out to the ship to get a module and then I shoot the bot, that will...
Yes. No, I think I did it to you either by accident or accident on purpose.
Possible. Very possible.
And I remember you getting terribly upset. I have to wait
for this guy to attack now because I can't leave until I shoot him before he goes away.
I think I blew up your Hulk, or I blew up the guy coming back with the thing because I was just goofing. And I remember you getting terribly, terribly upset.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Hey. Yeah, they always used to come back right from the same spot that they left.
Yeah, they do have very predictable patterns. They will either come back to the same spot on the same screen, or they will do something similar.
Oh, well, when the music, what happened?
It only plays for a bit when you take off. That's it.
I know, but that seemed really quick. Oh, now we're in a black screen.
Yeah, this one takes a little bit. Okay, so
there we
now
go. Okay.
I can start
I was worried for a second.
putting these modules on the conveyor belt
on the scanner, and we can find more about them.
And do an analysis. And he doesn't tell us. You have to know what it does. So we know that one's a generator from the manual. Okay, efficiency 12, power 12, value 50. Now, unfortunately, the built-in modules, like obviously your craft has a generator, but you can't get its rating. But it looks like 10 and 10 are kind of the baseline values for things. So at a 12, it's only a little bit better. And as for the
the progression is marginal. It's not huge.
Yeah, and for the aliens who made this, the symbols don't exactly line up. So like that one doesn't occur in the PDF manual I have. And this it may be because like maybe this manual is for another version.
Oh, it's possible. Is it close to anything? Or color-wise, is it? Well, no, it's a black and white manual.
No, that's a good question. It's got some color. It's got red in it, but
okay, but nothing with like brown on the left and orange on the right, because that's what it looks like to me, color-wise.
It looks like it kind of could be herbivorous philosophers, superficially similar to the extinct terrestrial ankylosaur. Legends suggest they had limited psychic powers. But if I remember correctly, you plug this thing in and basically it just makes your ship worse. So I'm just going to dismantle it and get credits.
Dismantle it. Well, the early generators, you're not going to get big advances anyway. 12 points over 10.
Also, the default shield, I'm going to ditch that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the default stuff is just 10, 10. And with a value of 0. All right, 12 and 12. All right, so that's also a dismantle because the one I have is already better than that.
Yeah, so you're gaining the slot. Now you can move it, right? You can move that slot over to the other one.
You can use the conveyor belt to basically move stuff around. So I can move one up.
But it's one at a time too.
Yes, one at a time.
Hunt and peck with clicking.
There's also no sound or music at all for this whole thing. Like there's no sound effects. I always thought it's eerily silent when you're in this part of the game. Okay, 15 and 15. That's a good one.
That's good.
So that power reserve should actually give me more laser shots before I have to wait for the laser to recharge.
Yeah. I remember one that you had was so rapid, it was like, you know, I mean, it was absolutely staccato. It was really awesome.
$11 and 15. Okay. Now, power is power usage. It's not like how powerful it is. Efficiency is how much value you get out of the power it consumes. So 11 for efficiency is not great, but So to measure the effect of a module, you really have to be in the craft itself, because the benefit it showed us of getting more shield function, the robot doesn't tell you that. You have to activate
it shows
the
them
module.
the display.
You have to activate the module to see that.
Unless you want to make up your own chart and graph.
Okay, so let's exit.
Yeah, we probably should have gotten some ambient
Go
music.
to the same rift. Because we're in front of another Hulk, we should be able to loot one immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, we were. Yeah, we were.
Yeah, it always brings you back to the same spot,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, you pick up and drop offs are always from the same spot as long as you stay on the same rift. Okay, so that's another radar. So what I can do is that when... Oh, alright, something I've turned on is really bad. Because I can barely move.
Ooh, nice shot. Nice shooting, Tex.
Yeah, I think this battery is consuming too much power.
Really?
Yeah, or
yeah.
maybe
Well,
the
also,
radar.
Well, you took out the generator, so you don't have any other source of...
Yeah, I think the battery is taking
Power
up all the
generation.
power that I need to be using for motive.
Trying to charge itself.
Yeah, there we go. So I have to turn that off. Later on, if I have a better generator, then you can also feed your systems plus a battery.
Right, and that'll be a good reserve, but for right now, it's basically drawing more than you can give.
And some of the radars I know bring you to specific things, but some of them I think just maybe have better range, because sometimes you'll go down a rift and it'll say there's nothing there. Like the radar will not have a compass tick on it. And then you can turn on a system and it will give you an indicator.
Mm-hmm. Lionel says, best shot ever of all time. Hey, Narc was always, you know...
The rifts are just these valleys. Like a rift, in this case, just means a level, you know, and they're numbered 1 to 20.
Yeah, he was always the man when it came to that.
And I think nostalgia for this game is probably why I liked the Mako sections in Mass Effect 1 so much, because that's kind of what this is, except with the added element of the looting and the modules.
Now, I just saw what you did there. You accidentally had a click on where you fired when you did want to loot the Hulk. Yep. And it's that really was a risk in this game.
By mistake.
Yeah, I do remember you accidentally doing that once and getting terribly upset. So it is actually very easy to accidentally do that when you're just trying to use the controls.
Oh, and that's an ECM module I have, which in the main game really is valuable. In this one with the cheats on, not so much. But that basically gives you more time between attacks.
Yep. Yeah, Lionel says, yeah, I see. And the idea is to recover the artifacts from the Hulk. Yeah, it's basically this really cool kind of salvage upgrade type game. In fact, I'm pulling a blank on the one that I was also very good at. Oh man, I got to remember this. This is one that Psygnosis made that was very similar to it that we did in the Amiga. Do you remember what that one was? Hold on. Let's see about using the interwebs. It doesn't goof
I'm gonna put these radars in there for a while. I don't think ECM normally would be pretty valuable, but again, since I'm playing with cheats on, it's not really important.
Yeah.
I need to free up the slots, because at some point you'll get to the bit where you consider, like, I have 4 or 5 modules that I consider to be necessary for me to operate normally, which means you only have 1 slot to loot, which means you got to go down and loot Hulks one at a time.
Yeah. What I also loved about, because back in the day for the Commodore Amiga systems, one of the #1 game makers was Psygnosis. And what was really cool about Psygnosis
even
even
having this radar on is killing my ability, killing my power, yeah.
Yeah. Psygnosis, they kind of had the absolute best cover art. And they tied in with a lot of Roger Dean's work, which I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Roger Dean.
Psygnosis game covers were like album covers.
Yes,
because they were by Roger Dean.
Yeah, well, to be honest, they were actually elements and close-ups of other work that he had done.
Oh, really? He didn't do originals for them?
Oh no, he totally did originals for them. But the cool thing was that he had bigger scale works that a lot of stuff that he had used, not only for Yes stuff, but for Psygnosis games and everything, were sections of them. And let's see. Oh yeah, Obidus is up here. Oh, Infestation. Yeah, you remember Infestation?
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, that one we may have to do at some point too.
I'm also trying to think. That one I think we did finish. I think.
Yes.
Which felt like a big accomplishment when we did it.
Oh, it was. Yeah, Shadow the Beast was the first one. That was a big introduction to us as far as that goes. Obliterator was one I was always a big fan of. I love the music in that one. Oh, yeah, you did. I actually had this idea of doing a action film starring Patrick Stewart with that. Yeah, believe it or not. Because the protagonist in this was a old soldier guy, and I thought who would have really been able to pull it off was him. But keep in mind, this was back in 87, so it was a while back. No, I'm looking around. No, do you remember the Pteropods? That's what it was called. Do you remember Pteropods?
I always mix that up with Turrican.
Yeah, Pteropods was a very similar resource getting game that had similar components to this that Psygnosis did, and I was a big fan of that one as well. And also Lemmings. We got to do Lemmings.
Okay, that's a gun.
Ooh, is it a better gun?
Now the question is, it'll only let us you can only have one module of each type activated at once. So turning on that gun automatically turns off the other one.
Yep. One of my all-time #1 favorites from Psygnosis though was the Killing Game
well,
show.
this one uses less power because I can fire that one continuously almost.
Sweet. Yeah, but the question is how well, I guess in this circumstance it doesn't really matter how combat effective it is.
Well, color might. See, the color might matter because it might matter what color saucers you run into.
Yeah, Linus says aka Spiderbot. Do you guys also cover Iraq? ARAC? Am I saying that right?
I don't know what that is.
Or is it ARAC? I'll have to look that one up. Excuse me.
And I have seen guides out that are basically like they're complete maps that show you because the maps are not randomized. You know, like hulks are in the same place every time you play with the same loot on them. So you can follow a guide that will tell you exactly where to go to get the best modules to finish. Ooh, okay, a different shield.
Oh, you want to know why do they disintegrate when you loot them? Because reasons. I don't know, because, well, to be honest, I think it's a process of elimination, not only for resources, but also for the fact that you don't want to be running around looting the same Hulk twice.
It lets you know. It's the easiest way of letting the players know what they've looted, what they haven't. All right, I'm going to try turning on a radar now because it's telling me there's nothing. Yeah, okay, so we are done with Rift 1.
On this level, cool. Oh, ARAC is Spiderbot's original version. Okay, yeah, because I'm looking at it right now. Oh, I see. Okay. Commodore 64, Apple II. Yeah, this was also 86. Yeah, I don't think we ever played Spiderbot.
No, I don't think so. That's another one I think I've seen on Ross's Game Dungeon.
Yeah. Killing Game Show, though, I have to say it had some of the best music ever. Not only just for video games, but also for the era. It was mind-blowing. And the cool thing about the Commodore was that it didn't have true stereo sound. It had left and right, though. And the way that they made it so neat was they embedded half of the instruments on one channel and half on the other. And when they melded together in your ears, it sounded like stereo. It was so cool marrying those two together as a technical way to get around the limitations of the acoustics and yet presenting to the viewer the best sound that you could get. It was fantastic.
All right, I think this one was actually a little bit worse because this one is rated at 9 and 6.
Well, that's probably why you have more shots.
It's less
more shots with the same power reserve,
but more power. I'm not really sure. I mean, generally speaking, these standard ones you get are like pretty much like dismantle them immediately as soon as you get anything better. Let's do it. It doesn't really matter in this run through because
well, no, because the cheats on, to be honest, using less power, you're still going to get a kill anyway. So, oh, he says Spider-Bot came out the same month as Metroid 1. He says he saw it on Curse Farms too.
Oh, that's better. Where'd my other gun go?
Oh my god, do they have Obidus on the Super Nintendo?
Also, This game will let you completely hose yourself if you want. Because you can dismantle modules. So
by accident.
Yeah. So for instance, like I just dismantled the default gun. If I dismantle this one, I have no guns.
Nope. Bye-bye.
That's
and then what do?
You restore a save. I hope you have one, because that would be it. That literally would mean now you could not shoot any enemies. Nope. I mean, there aren't many games that let you do that. They just throw away all the weapons you have.
Right.
Now,
and you can't loot without destroying the enemies.
Well, you can run away. Like if you just drive around the level, or if you have an ECM, you could escape and maybe get back to home. But it would be so much more difficult to be able to do that.
You know, you should probably make like an ultimate challenge series to try and get through this game with no guns.
It would be.
I don't see how it would be technically possible. I mean, you could spend years running away from saucers.
Okay, this species icon is a race of six-legged centauroids, carnivorous and quick, from a planet that circles a class F8 sun.
Ooh.
I don't know that they're particularly good at making shields. That description doesn't really tell us. 10, 15, value 50. I've always kind of thought that the value kind of mirrors the quality, aside from just the power and efficiency. So, like, if something is really bad, it'll be worth not much.
Yeah. Actually, you remember Obidus actually came with a t-shirt?
Okay, 10, 11, 15, 70. So this shield is still a little bit better than that other one we picked up.
Yeah, no, it's probably
so
one
we'll keep
to keep.
That.
I wonder what happened. I must have tossed it out. I wonder what happened to that Obidus t-shirt.
And we'll dismantle this one. Okay, exit ship. Next rift.
Mm. Now, what was the penultimate end of this one?
Okay,
I forget it was,
what happens is like you eventually get to the source of all the Guardian saucers, and you destroy that, and that's a win state for the game. Because
reasons, there are no peace options. I always thought these were bug-like and scary.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of ones that look like they have faces.
Yeah, some of them were kind of intimidating.
I think there's an Easter egg to Rescue on Fractalus in this one. I think at some, I think there's at least one ship, and maybe one that looks like this, that when you try to loot it, it eats your little bot.
Wow, if we play Killing Game Show, do you think we'll get a copyright strike?
For the music?
Yeah. Which would really suck, because it's really awesome music.
Okay, so it's not that one, but if I remember correctly, there is a Hulk that looks like that does. You know, it looks like a face. It looks like a big bug or something.
Face on it.
And I think when you try to loot it, it eats your robot, which means you've got to go back to the ship to get another one.
I remember the first time that happened to you, and you were freaked out because you thought the game broke or something.
That's a battery.
Is it?
Yes. Okay, no, I'm sorry. That kind of looks like, okay. This one is a detonator. You actually need
we don't want to blow ourselves
You
up.
actually need one of those to finish the game. It's how you beat the source of all the Guardian saucers.
Wow, so it's kind of like you got to feed the dog at the beginning of Hitchhikers, otherwise you can't win. Because this is only, Rift 2?
Yeah, this is only Rift 2. And that's not your only shot. Like, you don't have to grab a module here that does it. And I think what it is that basically what happens is that when you have that equipped, your Repo Tech robot goes out and plants a bomb on the Hulk and then blows it up.
Right.
So I'll tell you what, just for the heck of it, I'll demonstrate that here. Oh, well, I will as soon as I get rid of these saucers.
Wow, there's a lot of saucers. Yeah, can you do a cheat where you limit the amount that are attacking you all the time?
I don't think so. What you get basically are you can be immune to them, and you can make them all one-shot kills. That's basically how you get around. But you still have to actually fight them.
Oh no, I know. It's just like it seems relentless.
So now, if I turn on that module there and loot the Hulk, I believe it will blow it up. And itself. So whatever module was in that We didn't get it. Mm-hmm. And now we have to go and call a ship to get another bot.
Hey, there's a guy from Twitch that says C64 television. Been ages since I saw this game.
Yeah, this is not one of the more common ones. I mean, there are channels where people do, plays of old Commodore games, and I think this is just not one of the ones that people commonly think of. I don't think it was that popular.
Really? I always thought it had kind of an underground following.
Of these games made with this technology by LucasArts around the same time, I think the one that more people remember is Rescue on Fractalus.
Probably, and I think it could have been because of the advertising or from where it came from or where people actually went to for games. It was just more often that people heard about the big ones.
We'll put the detonator there. We don't need that now. I mean, obviously, the ability to blow up Hulks is not that useful. I suppose if it had been the monster one that ate us, we could have preemptively blown it up, but,
I'm just worried if that one we blew up was kind of critical.
I don't think so.
How many can you leave on the belt? I forget. Is it just one?
I'm not. No, it's more than that. It might be. Okay. It might be like 5 or 10 or something. I mean, it's not that big a number, but it's not that small either.
I wasn't sure how many you had to store, or whether it was one of those they gave you a limit, and then you had to start, destroying things. Yeah, I always wanted to get rich enough to get the entire collective works of Roger Dean.
Well, you won't do it in this game because credits are basically useless. Nope. They function as score, but they don't do anything else. Like, you can't buy upgrades or do anything with credits. Mm-hmm. It literally just gives you points for discarding modules. The economy part of it is not really something that functions well.
I was thinking in real life.
It's just to give you a tiny incentive to get rid of modules instead of hoarding everything. That and the hard limit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's another radar. So, of course, the thing is that, the game itself, I mean, doesn't change much from here on. You may discover new kinds of modules and see different variations of Hulks, and the maps will be a little bit different. But in terms of the gameplay, there aren't any sequences after this. These are the two phases, one of which where you're looting and fighting, and the other one where you're, analyzing modules.
Mm-hmm. What kills me, though, is that when we think of video games today and how many that are out there, even back then, the list of Commodore 64 games, alphabetized A through M, are 1,300 titles, and N through Z is another 721.
Okay, this is
so there was literally over 2,000 video games for the Commodore 64. I mean, that's pretty massive when you think about what the work went into all of these type of games, even before the actual playing. I mean, the playing was okay. It was a little clunky. It was kind of limited compared to today, but it was so immersive and so it inspired imagination. And all the work from manual design to art to distribution to, underscoring technology and the limitations of, not really having a lot of resources for this kind of stuff. And yet they put out some of the most imaginative type things.
By the way, the shield unit was created by a race of mammalian carnivores fond of eating reptiles and not as bright as many of the other ancient races. I wonder if that's supposed to be a warning to not use their stuff.
Racist. And that one kind of looks like a face too.
Oh, most of them do. Most of them looks like some kind of face. Okay, then there's a
Makes
gun.
you wonder that, if they were designing these things, they started to get a little punchy. Oh, wow, there's another gun. When is that?
Now, that gun shows us 2 bars, but I don't have enough power to fire it once.
Yeah, but still, 2 bars now. Progress.
So either that one's really inefficient or I just need more power to run it. It does look like the shield has got more coverage, though, because it gives me some resistance to red and orange lasers, which I did not have before.
Well, your shield is also pretty high, too, compared to what it was.
I'm going to call ship now because I'm full.
Linus says 4, perhaps?
That joke was...
It'd be kind of neat if there was actually some cross-species... notoriety between games and whatnot, where they said, hey, let's all be part of the same universe together. To be honest, I always thought it would be kind of neat if you could actually timeline all the universes so that they actually were all in the same one.
I could never keep all the things. And there's some big tables. Okay, so 11, 15, 60. There's actually some big tables you can find that list every piece of loot in the game and its stats, so that you know
what to keep,
and what to throw away.
Well, remember back in the day, you always used to have notes and scrap paper and graph and you know, had to write all this stuff down.
This is one more efficient, one less power, more value. So I'm going to install this. We already know that functionally it's better because it gives a broader range of resistance.
You know, this is reminding me a lot of the Destiny upgrade system.
I think it's better, actually.
Well, it's certainly easier, and in my mind makes more sense.
Okay, and I need to.
Lino
this
says,
gun I know we can't use without another power, and we can't use the battery we have without a better generator. So there's no point in carrying that around.
Carrying that right now, no, it just takes up a slot.
And you know what?
Well, yeah, the other thing
I'm
is
just going to put the radars away too.
Yeah, you can only upgrade so much, so it's almost like you want to go down with as minimal as possible to give you the more options.
Right. Well, that's the choice, right? You can go down with nothing but a shield and a radar and have 4 slots and get a bunch of stuff. But there's also a big risk because you can only save in this screen. So if you go down with 4 slots and you pick up 4 pieces of loot, you can then die, and you've got to redo all of that. You know, if you're not doing what we're doing, running in an emulator where you can save anytime.
Lina says, yeah, maybe the first rampant AI in the early 21st century in Marathon was Shodan. I don't know. That was the first big search engine from back in the day.
Shodan is the AI antagonist from System Shock.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, but wasn't it
so like the Durandal equivalent?
Right, but wasn't it one of the world's first search engine for internet connected devices?
I don't know. Did somebody name a search engine after Shodan? I suppose they might have.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, see, I'm wondering which came first. Because it could be someone just, you know...
I think the game. I mean, if they did probably name one Shogun, then it was after the game and not before it.
Yeah. Okay. Either one line. Yeah, either one would work. I always thought these things looked like bases, not saucers. They had really big feet.
Yeah, some of the things you loot do kind of look like walkers, not spacecraft.
Yeah. Lionel says, well, she was more Tycho, but shared Durandal's god complex. Yeah, if they ever made a video game or a series or a future Marathon ones, I was always curious as to what Durandal would sound like. You know, what voice would you get or use?
I don't know.
What actor would emulate his character and be acceptable to such, you know...
Okay, and this is another gun so powerful I can't fire it.
Yeah, well... To be honest, though, I think that's probably a good one, or at least it's a species I recognize with the little faces.
That's the race of 6-legged centauroids who are carnivorous and quick. So it sounds like they're aggressive. They might make good guns.
I would think so.
It also mentions that they circle a class F8 sun. Don't know what that means.
Yeah, they mention all the different sun types. Now, so you don't have a save version with really awesome modules? And
no, unfortunately, I didn't have time. I mean, you can notice the one thing about this game is that it is really time consuming. You know, you've got to go to each one of these places and you fight off the stuff. And
yep, it's I don't want to say a slog.
No, but it's meditative. I mean, it's not a quick hit. You know, you don't grab this onto like, oh, I'll play this for a few minutes. You know, it's not that kind of thing.
No, this especially is I'm spending an afternoon,
limited save system,
a weekend. I know. Well, the save system and everything. God, if you lose something, or and this is back in the day. If you lose power, if somebody trips on a cord, you pop a fuse. Yeah, you're in real trouble.
Okay, that's another radar.
And saving and loading. I mean, it took minutes.
Yeah.
And if anything happened in the middle of the process where you tried to go back to it and the save didn't take, or was broken, or was flawed in some way, you'd be boned.
I think Lion's got some voice actor suggestions in the chat there. If you want to...
Oh yeah, he's got Koji Yusa, is that right? For the voice of Shadow. Will Friedel, the voice of Lionel from the superior version of Thundercats.
Which is the superior version of Thundercats?
I think he's talking. I can't
know
tell
there's
if
a
he's
new
talking
version,
about the
but
new
I
or the
have
old
not
one.
seen it, so I have no.
I have not seen the new one either. He's a Durandal. I mean, Leela can use Chitara's 2011 voice actor. Same with Hathor the Eternal. If you've got some suggestions below as to who you think should be voice acting the marathon continuation series that Bungie will be doing once we stick a pitchfork in them to make them do it.
My temptation would be
below.
Jennifer Hale for Leela, but I mean it's kind of overkill because Leela's not that involved beyond the very early portions of Marathon 1, and I also think she's supposed to be a little bit too much of a goody two shoes, like Cortana without the edge.
Right. Yeah, Linus says the 2011 version is the superior one. I'll have to watch both to compare and contrast.
That's not the original.
No.
How many versions are there now? Is that like the second one out of 3, or is that the new one and it was just made 7 years ago and I shouldn't be calling it the new one anymore because it's not it's 7 years old.
Well, there's so many new things. It's really hard to tell these days. It really is. But now I'm thinking 2011, still that was like 8 years ago. He says the original is cringy as hell. Hey, that's what we grew up on.
I don't know.
And Thundercats Roar in 2019 apparently just plain sucks. Wow, I have not seen that there's a 2019 version.
Okay, see that when I was talking about new version, I think I was talking about that. I don't know that I'm aware of the 2011 version.
Oh, I see. When you said new version, I was thinking of the 2011 version.
Okay, is this the one that eats the repo tech?
Ooh. I don't know. That does look kind of scary.
No, I guess not.
Oh, you got away with it. Whew. I was really waiting for it to go.
Another radar. Wow, man, it's Radar City out here.
Yeah,
right.
Linus says yes. Second, yes. Yeah, the new one, quote unquote, is the 2019 one with the shitty gravity fail
turning on this
style
radar
artwork.
gives me an indicator where before I had none. But it uses up so much power I can't drive. So basically you have to like drive a bit and then turn it on, stop and turn the radar on.
Wow.
But you see,
so, in other words,
the thing that's cool about it is like it's such a simple system, really.
Yeah.
But there's so much variation in how things interact with each other.
Feel kind of like Matt Damon and Mars.
And somebody was trying to make a kind of more modern remake or re-implementation of this in another engine, in the Unity or something.
I think it would be great. Oh, think of the things that you could do. To be honest, you know what would be really, really cool? But licensing-wise, I don't think you could get away with it. I think it would be fantastic to grab like some of the best games of the 80s and actually put them together in a new game, but have them all fluidly flow from one to the next. You know? It's like tapping this with Aliens or this with Awesome, or, you know, doing some kind of continuation where it is this giant, you know, interactive futuristic space epic, but it literally is using the remakes and the story elements and whatnot from all those other different games sewn together. You know what I mean? I think that would be kind of cool.
I think. Go away.
Careful, you're going to shoot it and you're going to drive into a mountain. You don't have an oscillation overthruster. You're not getting through the mountain.
No, I know you basically can't go around. I think I've gone around their own way. There actually are some modules. I think what uses that second slot are mapping units. So they will
Whoever
actually
in chat
give
recognizes
you a map.
that reference, you get a cookie.
Yeah, see, there's a big section here that it's not letting me into. I've got to drive all the way around it. I think I was going the wrong way. Yeah,
Thundercats 2011 had a 7.9 on IMDb.
That's not that bad.
Well, that's great compared to a lot of stuff. I mean, most of all the garbage has been floating between 4 and 6. He says the 2019 looks terrible. Let's see if I can see anything in there. Oh, okay. I see what he's talking about. Okay. The Thundercats Roar 2019 is kind of a goofy, cheesy, childish-esque type interpretation that apparently a Thundercats fan of the series has been doing. It's not what I would call serious. Oh, okay. Well, no, it's not really a fan project. It's actually backed by Cartoon Network, but the problem is that who's doing it apparently was a fan of the series, but this is his spin / take / urination on it. So whereas the original was the original, 2011 is the awesome modern style interpretation of it. This looks like somebody effing around. Wow, Lionel being such the fan that he is, he even has the Chitara 2011 as a desktop.
Giving up on this Rift.
Hey, I remember the original Chitara. That was the one draw that we all had. Like Aaron Gray and those painted on blue jeans, boy. So yeah, so we sat through the cringe so we could watch the original Chitara. Yeah, Lionel said, yeah, the 2011 is a brilliant anime and became the reason I loved it. See? Okay, so that I can understand. But yeah, the Thundercats Roar, I think I saw an advertisement for this a year ago and just kind of like dismissed it. Because stylistically, it was just not where my head is at. It may be great, it may be funny, it may be one of those tongue-in-cheek type of things, but I can totally understand why fans of the original or where the 2011 one stylistically is, they would not be happy any more than somebody taking, I don't know, Aliens and trying to make like, you know, I don't know, a stuffed animal version of it. You know, it just would seem wrong. Though it actually could be funny if you do it right. But yeah, this definitely is a disparaging discrepancy between the original's tonality, I think.
Oh, and this radar is also using up too much power. It by default, it activates everything you have installed when you go down. So yeah, if you're carrying something you don't want to use, you have to turn it off.
Yeah, Linus says, yeah, the original Thundercats was anime-esque, but the American through and through. Yeah, sadly, you know, the opening was spectacular, but, you know, it wasn't a Japanese anime type thing, and I kind of really wish that it was. The pervasive quality and the frame rate was not there. Zebra says, Juggernaut plushy pillows.
Who was the voice actor for Juggernaut? Wasn't it somebody famous, like more famous than anybody else in that show?
Probably. I'll have to go look that up. It's been a while. Incoming. Yep, there's another bug ship. Yeah, Linus says, yeah, the opening was cool, yes. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw that thing and my jaw dropped. That was probably one of my first introductions to, like, you know, modern-style Japanese anime. Hell, I remember kids on the school bus singing the theme song. I was never that cheesy, but yeah, they were diehard fans of that show growing up, boy. Oh, Linus says, yeah, I mean the Marathon Juggernaut ones, you know, as in the normal head pillow shaped like jugs. Have Studio suggested in his Marathon LP. Hey, you know, we talked about grunt plushies in Halo for God knows how long. You know, we still wanted some of those.
Didn't they finally do that? Or was it just
some fans did? Some fans finally did. In fact, I remember some people on the HBO forums and whatnot, they were actually selling them. In fact, there was one fan that were making paper versions.
I think is that a mapper? What is that? I may not have enough. See, the thing is that even if it's that, I may not have enough power to run it.
Maybe it's a silent cartographer. You think? But it's funny, those two were both made by the same species, so Actually, yeah. Was there some interactivity between similar species technology that was actually either better or more compatible or more efficient?
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's just a question of some are better at certain things than others, and the only hints to that is in the description, where like some of them it kind of almost straight up tells you what they're good at, and the other ones are kind of a little more vague.
Wow. Lionel says, my coworker, Harry Fraser, where I went to for work experience in school, role-played Thundercats after school, and they even nicknamed their buddy after Mumra.
Wow.
Now that's a fan. If I recall, the original... the original voice actor for Lionel and Mumra and a couple of the other ones, they actually made like an off-color parody that somebody had actually put. Yeah, well, apparently they had a really, really dirty sense of humor. So when they were joking and whatnot, and of course none of this material could be published, somebody finally did release some of the tapes, and then somebody made some animated cartoon versions to coincide with it. So when they're saying all these dirty jokes, you actually get a chance to see the characters mouth the words and stuff. I vaguely remember seeing a YouTube video on it once. It's the happy carnivorous bugs.
Doesn't seem to be any big difference in the shield there. Oh, hello. Hello. What are you doing?
Wow, you're getting multiples. And this is Rift, what, 2? 3? 3, wow. I do vaguely remember them getting so fast where you literally just could not even track them anymore. You had to do what you did there, which is wait for them to cross in line of your weapons.
Let me pause this for a second, and I'm going to look up one of those module lists just to see, because again, like, not all the icons for species or modules are in the manual. Some they leave you to discover what they are.
Yeah, Lionel said, yeah, I started watching in 2011. By then, I got the originals on DVD. Larry Kenny even voiced Calidus in 2011. Oh, really? That's cool. Lionel says, keep circulating those tapes. South Park actually got their first stint because of tape distribution. And if I recall correctly, it was actually George Clooney that was the forerunner of that. He loved it so much, the first demos that they'd made. He made his own videotapes.
Here's a screenshot of the remake.
Oh, we should be playing that. That is pretty cool. You know, that kind of looks marathon-esque. Wow, this is getting really meta. We're doing a old version, looking at a new version of an old game and watching a YouTube video clip while making a YouTube video. Inception.
Oh, and it's being
need the Inception
Google's
horn
being
on demand.
Polluted by people who basically haven't made a Coronis Rift guide, but are inviting you to make one.
Oh, really? For all those out there who are dying to do it, we'll accept your free work.
Yeah, and there is someone here who's done a full walkthrough in 10 minutes.
Wow. Has it really been that quick?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. I had found a pretty complete guide with maps and everything, and it's
everything. Did you save it? Did you save a copy?
No, I mean it was a site. It wasn't.
Oh, well, maybe it's in your history. Yeah, Lionel says, yeah, I hope they bring back Thundercats 2011 for season 2. And further and beyond. Yeah, there's so many series that I wish went beyond to season 1. But they should also hire Doug Zartman as the voice of Snarf. To be honest, I would be perfectly fine if they eliminated the Snarf character.
Yeah, I would not have a problem.
He was not great. I kind of put him in the same category as, like, you know, oh, what was the guy from Battle of the Planets? Zark 7 or whatever his name was. I always found the addition to that character, you know, semi-ruined the American version of Battle of the Planets, so there was no reason to have him in there. And Snarf and whatnot is like, yeah, okay, but he just unfortunately became annoying to the point where you just wanted to either skip or just get around. I remember fast forwarding VHS tape sections of those episodes that we recorded just to get past him because he was just so unnecessary, and his voice, for whatever reason, was like knives in my ears. I was just not a fan of Snarf, sadly. Sorry to all the Snarf fans.
Yeah, unfortunately, my history doesn't cover anything older than today for Corona's Rift. So
really, wow, you knew your history a lot. Do you remember where you got it?
No, not at all. I mean, it was like a forum somewhere.
Oh, really? It was like a posting.
It was not one of the major sites.
Oh, that's a bummer. Well, maybe for next time if we ever do a sequel. All right, so is there anything special that you wanted to cover?
No, I think that was it. I was kind of thinking, I was trying to think of if this was a map module I could get, but it doesn't seem to be because it's not working. Oh, and it does suck up all my power, so I can't move. I just thought maybe if I could run across a map module, I could at least show what it does.
Hmm.
We'll try to loot one more Hulk and see if we go.
Oh, Linus says Snarf in 2011 was cool. Oh, is he? Okay, because I only remember the original, so if they changed him to improve his character, then absolutely, that is definitely a welcome improvement. He says, yeah, but yeah, the theme sounded funny, though. In fact, the theme of the original sounded suspiciously like the nursery rhyme, Tom Tom the Piper's Son. Really? There wasn't any lawsuits, were there? Okay, last module. Radar. Another radar. Wow, see, I was hoping for something cool.
Yeah, me too.
All right, back to the ship. All right, well, I guess that is going to conclude this section of our Rampancy Retro run through Corona's Rift, Aliens, and what was the first one? Oh, the
Forbidden Forest.
Forbidden Forest. We hopefully will be doing more of these in the future. We're going to be selecting different titles over the years that we did a lot of game stuff. In fact, you know, all the Signosis games and whatnot that we mentioned off, I'm dying to play all of those. So hopefully we'll be able to get those sometime in the future. Anything you want to mention about coming up? Because I don't know if are we going to be continuing with D1? Because if so, I may have to renew.
Your
my live account.
I would.
Yeah,
like
it's been over a month.
I would like to, but I don't know.
I would like to too.
I don't know about.
But coughing up $10 a month for it.
Yeah, and also the question is, like, are we going to do any Reckoning, Drifter, Gambit stuff?
Yes,
because it looks like there's enough
I was wondering
lore in it that it may be worth doing.
Yeah, and plus the cutscenes and whatever else, and I don't know whether we wanted to assemble them like all together off cam and just kind of run them together.
Maybe
as one big
I don't
thing.
know, but like for just pure lore, you know, there are other people who do like a much better job. Like if you just want the lore, you don't watch My Name Is Wife.
It's just the run throughs. I mean, everybody's covered, you know, everything from soup to nuts. So at this stage, you know, watching the playthrough, you know, a lot of it unfortunately is terribly grindy.
Yes,
so,
that's true.
I don't know how much of that we wanted to cover. But yeah, so what's the next one? We got one coming up this weekend? I can't remember.
I think so. We need to check with everybody else's schedules though, but the next long play scheduled is Nier Automata, which I'm really looking forward to.
Cool, yeah. Yeah, Narc's going to be driving with that one, and stay for that one because that one is going to be good. So, all right, thanks so much for tuning in. We certainly hope that you enjoyed this. Please feel free to check out all of our stuff on our YouTube channel at rampancy.net. For all the other things that we have coming up, please feel free to check out the schedule. We have had the last 3 weeks off, but we are back, so we're going to be continuing with new ones, so feel free to check on notifications to let you know when we do stuff. I am Blackstar. He is Narcogen. We are rampancy.net. We'd like to thank you all for watching, and we hope to catch you next time.
Bye-bye.